bilingual new business development salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to the next level. Is this you? Our multimedia account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on site, audio, video, it's all part of what you could sell. A sales career with NRG Media lets you make a real difference in our community. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Crossover is crossover dribble.
Sing for the
crossover.
Kyrie Irving crossover in the lane.
One of the most famous crossovers of all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover. Double crossover. The crossover continues to evolve.
Crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. A bunch of happily married guys in the studio.
That's right. Very.
Damn straight.
Yep.
Very.
Yep.
Extremely. What's the deal with that guy?
Yeah. Hey, he's apparently once you hit a certain threshold down the
He doesn't have to project
length
that
of
on
your marriage.
us, though.
I know.
He doesn't have to project that on other people.
I just feel like we needed to make sure John, we had a lot of suggestions that John needs to be a part of the 1620 The Watch Party because he just apparently needs to get out. Needs to rediscover that zest for life with his wife.
Well, yeah.
It was
it
was a phone call, guys. It was something.
Okay.
It was something. But yeah. Even after a Creighton loss, though, sun came up. We're excited.
Sure did.
About this weekend.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yes.
Josh, are you mad at me for proclaiming that things are okay?
I'm actually not.
Okay.
I'm just playing the
proxy
of the audience.
Yeah.
I mean, you're wearing your Creighton gear today.
Yeah, this is not out of my basketball love, though. This is out of my baseball on the radio tonight.
Being at the yard, yeah.
Yeah. I brought my big coat, too, so I'm not too happy about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it is a 6 o'clock start.
Yeah,
too.
I think we're going to,
chilly tonight.
As you know, Nick, we got about 7 large windows up there.
Yes.
I think I might pop about one of them tonight.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good idea.
It'll be chilly.
You don't need them all open.
That's the least amount of windows you can pop open.
Yeah. Just a small hole for us to see.
That's
through.
pretty awesome, though.
I can't do a broadcast without the windows open.
Right.
I can't. I'm incapable.
Because we've had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This will be my 7th game. 7 games
in
the span of 10 days,
which is great from the standpoint that now it's in the 7th game that you actually have to minimize the window opening.
That's true.
Because didn't have to.
There was a couple of them. The early ones last week, the UMass Lowell deal. We were like, all right, let's go ahead and minimize here.
The Wednesday game, we probably could have done that because the wind was starting to blow in. But
yeah,
that's exciting.
So yeah, by the end of by Tuesday, it will have been 8, 9. It will have been 10 games in 15 days.
Wow. I haven't even looked at Tuesday. What does that look like?
10 baseball broadcasts in 15 days.
What a weird homestand
it is.
For Creighton.
Yeah.
Tuesday looking nice.
Good.
Sunday is the one that looks a little hairy here. So maybe somebody, I don't know.
Could be a twin bill.
Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could get the word out there. I wouldn't be totally angry if we just decided to rip off a couple on Saturday.
And then have your Sunday to watch Nebraska in the Big Ten Championship.
And just lay on the couch for several hours until Selection Sunday, or then lay on the couch during Selection Sunday.
No, by the way, I don't have Nebraska going to the Big Ten Championship game. I have them losing tonight because I have to stay.
You have them losing tonight?
Connor, I have to stay true to the bit. It's
What's
work.
The bit?
The bit is the reverse.
The bit is jinx. You hate Nebraska?
No, it's the reverse jinx, man. Oh, Josh.
They're good.
That's rich.
They're a good basketball team.
Why'd their athletic director leave then?
Good basketball teams don't lose in the quarterfinals of their conference tournament.
You could get more of this insight at halftime of the Nebraska-Indiana game tonight.
By
Josh Outs and Gary Sharp.
Jeff writes in on the text line, is Jeff. Creighton a 1 seed now?
Yes. Oh, why? Did somebody have him as a 1 seed?
Well, I was making the case for him last week.
Because Sam McEwen made the case.
No, I will take responsibility for my own takes. Yeah, I believe
you saw a path?
I believe that there was a path for that. I mean, look at Tennessee's going to get the other 1 seed. They have the pretty much the same resume as Creighton did or does. So no. By the way, not anymore. Not
No.
not
I
gonna
think
happen
they're
anymore.
solidly a 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take it as long as you
And I
don't.
thought the
as long
best
as you
they
don't
could do was
slip
a
down.
2.
As long as you don't slip down to that 4, I think everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think there was maybe
Not a
there
1
was,
seed anymore, though.
there was a little bit of this last night. I'm sure you caught this too, of overly dismissing last night's result. It doesn't matter at all.
The
Well, it
audience,
does.
the audience
It
thinks
does.
that that's what Connor does every time.
Why does it?
Creighton
Okay,
loses.
now give me the case for why it matters so much.
Because
You got to win every game, Connor.
What sport is this? Once again, poison football brain.
I just
by
think
you guys.
Big East, I get that.
Poison football brain all the time. Oh, he can't lose. Otherwise, the sky is falling every single time. Sometimes basketball teams lose because they play 30 games.
In the grand
in the
scheme of it
season.
all,
Sometimes sometimes baseball teams lose as well. Sometimes you drop one to Wichita State in the midweek. You get wrecked.
Ooh.
It happens.
it does. That's true.
It happens. Sometimes you lose one on a Sunday, second game of the doubleheader to Portland. It happens.
all these things are factual, but
Yeah.
it was almost as if the conversation was, they didn't really even want to have a long stay there.
No, it's not because they didn't want
they
to.
did. And
No.
we can't all of a sudden now dismiss it. And I'm not saying the coaches or the players. There was a media narrative last night that I caught on to where it was extremely quick to dismiss any significance of that game whatsoever, which I think you're kind of missing the mark there, because this is a team that they felt could actually win the Big East tournament.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
so
going to go
from that standpoint, there needs to be a tinge of disappointment there. Now, in the bigger picture of it all, no, because they're still going to be in a good spot in the NCAA tournament. But to say, like, it doesn't matter last night, I can't go that far.
I'm not going full SEC bowl game. We didn't try.
Yeah,
thing.
yes, that's a good comparison. It was kind of like that, at least from
But to be,
one certain media member that I thought,
oh, you want to call somebody out?
no,
Okay.
because I don't know him.
I don't
well.
even know what you're referring to.
I don't know him very well, so I don't want to.
All right.
And it's nothing against like the person. It
Damn.
just I
want to mix it up a little bit.
I disagreed with it from the standpoint of wait, why are we just quick to dismiss it all of a sudden?
Yeah,
Just because the team has moved on.
to be fair, I think I mean the reaction for me will be the same if Nebraska loses tonight. I don't think it's particularly important. I mean, like that's the position of conference tournaments,
Right.
Given
When-
teams
yeah.
that aren't on the bubble.
When you're comfortably on the good side, absolutely.
correct, and
Absolutely.
obviously, Providence was
Desperate.
But
Quite.
I will not completely poo-poo it tonight.
I think Devin Carter knew what I think Devin Carter was like, he was jumping in front of stuff. He was like, when the cornerbacks sometimes run the route for the wide receivers.
Yeah.
He was doing that last night. He did it like 4 times. It
Yep.
just completely iced out plays.
Football brain.
That dude, yeah, I got football brain now. I mean, he is an insane person.
He's good, man.
He's
That
so
dude is good.
fast. How is he so fast?
How does he still have the legs too?
Yeah.
I was waiting for
And
him
then
to
he-
just start like bricking an airball shots.
And then he
there
jumps
late.
15 feet in the air and blocks Kalkbrenner.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, who is this
Yeah.
person?
The dude is, and I'm glad because I think there was some people, and not even Danny Hurley, which I think he actually handled the fact that Tristan Newton wasn't Player of the Year in a very, very good way. I think there were some people wondering, what about Tristan Newton or Baylor Shireman? If you needed a reminder of how good Devin Carter is, you've now had 2 nights of that where, because he does that.
Yeah.
Now, if Bryce Hopkins is playing, is Devin Carter the Player of the Year? Probably not.
No.
Because he doesn't have that same type
No,
of.
but what he's
that
done has
onus.
been even more impressive
Yeah.
in the absence of Devin Carter.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
But no, if Nebraska is to lose
And
tonight,
hot Kim English.
which they will,
hey, you're hot, baby.
I know what the heck. See, so that's what led to the marital call, by the way.
Yeah.
So
It's a good looking guy.
if they lose tonight, which they will, Nebraska will, I'm not going to completely dismiss that as it doesn't matter, because you want to see, especially on the Nebraska side of it, if I'm truly to believe that this season is going to be different than the recent ones when it comes to Nebraska in the postseason, I got to feel good about at least one game in the Big Ten tournament. So then I could start believing, hey, maybe they can win an NCAA tournament game.
I don't know,
which you
but-
and I both know they can, regardless of what happens tonight.
We've seen way
But the
crappier.
psyche.
We've seen way crappier versions of Nebraska basketball rip off 2-3 games in the Big Ten tournament.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
It didn't mean a single damn thing.
But I want to see it with Fred.
Yeah.
And I want to see this team.
No,
I think it's a good team. I want to see them validate that with at least an appearance in the semifinals. You get that double bye.
It's the very rare low risk, high reward situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
absolutely. And I hope they thrive in that role.
Yeah,
I really do.
Well, you're playing with a little house money.
Yes,
that's okay,
and it's exciting.
That's a good thing.
I totally agree.
This is the place of conference tournaments. This is where they are for college basketball, except for if you are on the bubble, and then you are fighting for your life.
And I think Providence,
poor Villanova,
put themselves in. Yeah. Ooh. And when they waved off that shot, I thought, oh, Villanova's going to win.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
That was it. That was the closest I've ever seen it ever.
I didn't think they'd overturn it. Because it was that close.
Yeah, because then you go back to we'll have to get that. I wonder what the proper verbiage on all that stuff is, because we always talk about indisputable evidence. We football brain, right? You have to have indisputable evidence to overturn it. But in this specific situation, if the call on the floor had been to not count it, was there indisputable evidence that he did get it off? Right.
Right.
I mean, you could have gone either way. I was a little surprised that they overturned it.
Yeah.
But it was a real true 50-50 deal.
But the beauty of that, everyone was losing their mind over it, even though it didn't count. How Shaka Smart designed the best
great
play ever. And it was.
That's great play. I'm just happy that
it was good. It was good.
I'm happy for all my Cats fans, all my Cats homies out there. Maybe they can finally have an excuse to get rid of Kyle and Neptune.
Oh, Kyle and Neptune.
Yeah.
That's so good.
He is
but he looks great with that turtleneck.
Villanova now officially has the worst coach in the Big East. How does it feel?
Yeah, because now you have Chris Holtman in there. Mm-hmm. That's
congratulations to the Cats, who still have so much talent. I mean, are you kidding me? Justin Moore and Mark Armstrong and Dixon and they have some real dudes.
Man, I can't.
There's no way that team should be on the bubble of the NCAA tournament.
I really want to disagree with that. I can't. That's kind of crazy to think, because I want to say I think Kyle Neptune was an awful, awful, awful coach.
He's an
but now, yeah, you're right about what they have on that roster. It's not it's a major rebuild. No,
yeah,
you should be fine.
And they'll just continue to get worse. I mean, they'll get little by little. They'll just get worse and worse and worse.
They'll fall into the world of Neptune.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out at some point.
Well, the good news for Villanova is that's a very attractive job. So you should be able to find someone very good if you decide that Kyle Neptune, going forward, whether it's this year, next year, 2 years down the road, that it's not going the direction you want it to. Well,
I think it's a pretty good job.
I think so.
I don't know what makes it that much greater than any other good job in the Big East, but it's a pretty good job.
I would say top 4 in the Big East, wouldn't you?
I mean, oftentimes we kind of they've had some historical success before Jay Wright.
Yeah.
But obviously Jay Wright is he was the guy in that program. So I don't know if you take that out of it and you're moving from it a little bit. Obviously they still have access to the talent, but I don't know that it's that much different or better than really anybody else has the opportunity to.
How's their NIL?
They have facilities. I'm sure they have pretty good NIL, just given that it's kind of a name brand type of program. So it probably puts it in the top, top tier type of thing. But I don't know how great of a job it is. But I don't know that any of the Big East jobs are these great jobs. I think the thing that happens in that conference is they have a bunch of really good coaches who are able to figure things out, propel their programs one program at a time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wonder.
So we just fired Kyle Neptune.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just trying to help you out, Wildcat fans.
The Chris Holman of DePaul is good. That's I'm not that I was rooting for DePaul.
Yeah, I don't know that it'll work, but he's a good coach. He's a pretty decent coach.
He knows the conference.
Yeah.
Will make for a fun game with Butler.
Yeah. I think Ohio State pulled the plug on him a little too hastily. But he made 4 NCAA tournaments, and
he did,
coming off of a really nice run at Butler.
The way that they ended last year, and then the path that they were on this year.
Yeah, it was definitely a bad trajectory.
As opposed to letting him finish out the season, because it's not like you have your head coach in waiting. already lined up, unless they've already been able to lock that in through back channels. But would Ohio State have gone on the run that they've been on here since? I don't know. It's same personnel.
No, they don't go on the run without firing Holtman, but I don't I'm just talking about future.
Just overall.
Yeah, I'm just talking about future. If Holtman was still there, that would have went down the tank for this year, but just generally future of the program. I don't know. Maybe they did.
I think if the way that maybe some of us view that basketball program and that job, I can understand why you'd ask that question. I think Ohio State, by doing so, I think answered it for us of we take this very, very serious, and this is unacceptable.
Okay, well, have fun. Go.
That's the thing. You beware what you wish for.
You better find somebody better.
Yep. And Mac's not coming there.
No.
So,
no.
Sorry about that.
Try again in 7 more years,
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Yeah. Sorry about that one. Are you guys rocking St. Patty's this weekend? You guys get into that?
No.
Yeah. There was a time I did.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I every year St. Patrick's Day comes around and I wake up that morning and then I'll go out into the world and I'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I guess I get it now. It's St. Patrick's Day.
Now
there was never even really a time for me where I was like,
Really?
I'm super fired up about the St. Patrick's Day deal.
in my 20s, I did just because, hey,
It's a drinking holiday.
I like drinking. But even as I got in my 30s, it became amateur hour. So it annoyed me more than anything. We did go to Chicago to see the River Dine, which was something to see. And then we did do Boston, and I think 2018 got to see Dropkick Murphys at the House of Blues there. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But it wasn't like we were there just so we could go from bar to bar and just absolutely get smashed. Now, I did take care of that on St. Patrick's Day in Boston.
Nice job.
But it wasn't like the intention. It wasn't like how I would have done it in my 20s.
Right.
So it was fun. But
in college,
if I'm here,
I'm
just like whatever.
In college, I went to Illinois. The University of Illinois has a St. Patrick's Day celebration weekend. They call it unofficial, I believe.
Okay.
And I had a buddy there, so we all piled in the car and went out there for one weekend. Whew, that was something.
Yeah.
That was St. Patrick's Day.
Well, locally,
but we could have came up with any excuse to just, take a day off and just
do the same thing.
Could
have been on a Sunday.
I remember vividly doing Irish car bombs while I was watching Morning Sports Center in a random dorm room.
That's when you know it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah, 7:30. I'm like, this is heading down a bad path. You're headed for a bad place today.
Now, I've never been, and I've been told you need to check it out in our great state of Nebraska, O'Neill. They have
the big shamrock in the middle.
Yeah, they have an amazing St. Patrick's Day weekend celebration that apparently, and again, I've never been, but on secondhand accounts that it does not disappoint. So we do have something here.
I could smash a Reuben. I'll tell you that much.
Like myself, a Reuben.
We love a Reuben.
I'll do the occasional car bomb too.
Sure.
I don't mind that one.
That'll get you into the spirit.
Yep.
Quickly.
I used to work with someone who really poo-pooed the green beer because the green beer was typically the domestics. I say, you know what? If I'm going to indulge in a domestic and it's a green beer, I'm fine with that. But I know some people are like, no, you got to have Guinness. It's got to be Guinness all day. I get full.
Yeah.
Get really full if I do that.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. And then the next day after you have the green dyed beer, there are things.
Oh, really?
There are after effects like, that's what happened. Like at first you're kind of scared, like that shouldn't happen.
But it's always right around the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. And I just thought I'm just focused on other things.
Yeah, there was
Sunday I'll have baseball and then it'll be selection Sunday and I won't even get a chance to experience any of it.
There was
and I'm not even really sad about it. It's just a day.
One of the times Omaha hosted, I think St. Patrick's Day was on a Saturday and the Omaha Regional was a Friday and a Sunday. And the weather was amazing. It was in the 70s. And so it led to, even though it wasn't St. Patrick's Day on that Friday, you had March Madness going on. Then you had St. Patrick's. That was quite the weekend. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was quite fun.
Okay, so before we let you go, Nick, you have predictions to make. So,
okay, Nebraska basketball loses tonight.
Well, okay, so are you going to be on one of the halftime shows?
No, I was last night. So I ruined
So
ruined Creighton's tournament run.
Yeah, now thank you.
I was
by the way, Creighton.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do it.
I love doing
Connor
my
up this
I
weekend.
love doing my job, but
Yeah.
you know.
You got baseball to worry about.
Yeah. So give me a seed and a location for the Creighton Blue Jays.
I'm going to
Seed
say.
and do you want all the NCAA tournament locations again?
No, I feel pretty good. I think 3 seed in Memphis.
A 3 seed in Memphis.
Yep.
Nick Hanley is going with it. We should write these down, Josh.
Okay.
A 3 seed in Memphis.
Yep. 3 seed in
And
Memphis.
the Nebraska Basketball and Huskers.
I'm going to go with 9 in Brooklyn.
9 in Brooklyn.
Yep.
Now, have we checked in really tightly to the bracketology this week?
I'm on there right now.
I've been looking between Shelby Mass and Bracket Wag, and I know you guys love that, don't you?
So
and then Joe Lenardi, now I think he's doing them daily now.
He is.
Yeah. So I didn't look at Joe. I didn't look at Joey Buckets today, though.
You are correct. Joe has Nebraska as an 8 in Brooklyn.
8 in Brooklyn. Okay. They would be playing a 9 either way. I win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to manifest this.
I think getting the location is more impressive than well, maybe it's not. Maybe the seed is more impressive.
I'm gonna try and manifest this. We'll need some things to happen this weekend.
You want Indy?
No.
Okay.
I'd like Nebraska to play Texas A&M in their first
I know.
game.
Yeah, I know it.
Can Nebraska work their way up to a 6?
To like a 7 or
a
something.
7. Yeah, if they can get up to a 7 and A&M finds himself playing their way into a 10.
And wherever that game is, I'm watching.
It'll be the most. And then that means every Nebraska fan has to travel and then try to take as many selfies as you can with Trev.
Today,
Make him feel
Lenardi
really
has
uncomfortable.
the Aggies as the last team in.
Yeah, bracket matrix, they are basically the second team out right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so them getting a 10 would be pretty tough.
Yeah.
Unless they won the SEC tournament, then they could.
Let's see what the road would be for them this weekend.
Because he's reposting like crazy right now on everything that's Texas A&M athletics. Old Trev is. He's all over it.
Trying to bury a couple of
So they got
other
Yep.
tweets.
If I
They
repost
got-
this won't show up on my timeline.
Kentucky tonight. Winner would get likely Alabama tomorrow, and then would be the final on Sunday against maybe Tennessee, who's supposed to be. So, I mean, they go on a little rip off a couple here. Trev would be very proud of his boys and get him to the NCAA tournament and get him in as a 9. Nebraska's an 8 somewhere, something like that.
7-10 matchup. Maybe
That's
if they both go on a run.
That's the dream.
He'll be rocking the basketball polo,
How about this?
the maroon.
How about a 7-10 matchup in Omaha, Nebraska?
Oh my God! Now that would be the ultimate dream.
Hostile.
Yep, the ultimate dream. I mean, it would already be the most overwhelming home crowd favorite for Nebraska, regardless of who they were playing.
But it'd get
bring that
outright
in,
nasty.
It
Yes.
would. It would go
Dangerous.
from friendly, courteous Nebraska fans just supporting their team to, oh my gosh, they're cutthroat.
CBS.
They're awful.
CBS. Look right here. Look into my eyes. ESPN put Alabama in the college football playoff to make money. You want to make money? You want to make more money for this quote-unquote dying tournament? Put Nebraska as a 7 seed, Texas A&M as a 10 seed, put it in Omaha, print money.
Yep. You're right. That is absolutely 100% true. It would be probably the highest grossing site that they've ever seen in over a decade.
And maybe even better, I don't know how Nebraskans feel about Omaha hosting the NCAA tournament over the period of time. I'm not sure if there's a rivalry between the two cities. But if you look at it like, why does Omaha get all these things and Lincoln doesn't?
Yeah.
Nebraska fans could start throwing stuff onto the court and then make sure Omaha would never get an NCAA tournament game.
Because remember, we're thinking Pinnacle Bank Arena could be back in the mix, or not back, but in the mix at some point. Lincoln would be back in the mix. So you're trying to eliminate another competition, another Midwest competition region. So.
And I will say this: that the bubble has sort of opened up a bit.
Yeah, it's a bad bubble.
It's kind of opened up.
It's an
a little
opportunistic
bit.
bubble.
Yeah. There's very few opportunities for bid stealers. I think this weekend.
I think we know they will look at certain storylines if they seem to exist, and you don't have to move heaven and earth to make it happen. That if it's within their power, they will do it. And why wouldn't you? Like, to Josh's point, Why wouldn't you? You want to see some of those hosts just flourish?
Would Trev show up?
No chance.
We know that Trev has been on Twitter over the last several hours.
How would that look?
Busy moving the family. Didn't have time to actually make the.
I was watching, but I was
tournament
watching
site.
it back in my new home in Kyle, Texas.
Let's get wacky. I like it.
It'd be so awkward.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know if my mind can just comprehend that right now.
Yippee says someone will kill someone if that plays out.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
You think someone will kill someone?
I don't know if they kill anybody, but there might be some crimes.
Well, Crime Town to Omaha.
Then Lincoln brings their party over here.
You get a drunk resident of Crime Town against an Aggie who says the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong time.
Yep.
You mix alcohol in there.
Because by then we'll still be, I think we'll be in a better place, but we'll still have our triggers.
He will need.
We'll still have our triggers.
He will need he would need presidential security.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be the athletic director that has the most security detail that you've ever seen. There's not even a debate on that.
I'm just going to put this thought out into the ether. Joel gave us a good tweet, and so we're going to put that out there just so it's on their radar potentially for this weekend. Nebraska ball, Texas A&M, 7-10 in Omaha.
It starts tonight, though. Nebraska, do your job.
What a
Make
first
this happen.
tournament win for Nebraska.
Oh
that
my
would be.
God! Oh my God! Would Trev retweet that? Would that be retweeted?
He would retweet the Texas A&M tweet that said "Final from Omaha."
Yeah, final. Get him next year. He'd retweet that.
So proud of our Aggies.
Yeah.
Gig 'em.
Hashtag 12th man.
They gave him a great run this year. So proud of this squad.
Poor Texas A&M fans, they'd be like, man, they kind of like to travel a little bit. They're always up in Omaha for the College World Series.
Yeah.
But that's what we do.
They're so mad at us.
They just wouldn't
You
get
guys are so nice in the summer. What's wrong now?
We're just innocent pawns in this game that you guys have going on.
So Texas A&M has basically a top, 2, 3, 4 team in college baseball right now. Does this inhibit their ability for fans to come up here in June and their reception at that point in time?
Oh, it's going to happen. I mean, they've got
a
really good shot of making it.
Will Texas A&M athletic director Trev Alberts appear on an NCAA radio network broadcast this summer as interviewed by either Connor Happer or Dick Hanley?
That would, he knows all of us too. You would think, these guys will take it easy on me.
That
just
I
imagine
just thought of a whole nother thing.
Connor, imagine the crowd that would gather around that table if he sat down with one of our live CWS shows.
He would have to, because remember the year 2 years ago when I talked to Sankey, he was really great and gave me his number and everything. He was like, just come find me at this time. And he was kind of tucked away a little bit.
Okay.
He had his own, we have the radio booths up there.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of them that don't get used at a time depending on who's playing next or
So
if
you
there's
talked
a
him
game
up there then?
So he was just sitting up there. So I just went up there.
Yeah, it'd probably be similar then.
He wasn't out with the people.
I don't think
he wasn't in a suite.
Oh, okay.
And when I talked to Steve Forbes last year, he was in a suite and getting after it a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, not Greg Sankey.
I don't think Trev would be in the baseball village doing that sit down with us.
No.
Who would garner more of a crowd of onlookers, Livy Dunn or Texas A&M AD Trev Alberts?
I think that
I think Trev would get more.
The crowd would be different.
The male adults. Livy Dunn, maybe still some male adults, but yeah, you're right. The mood would be a lot different. I'll just say that.
Yep, Jack John. Let's root for A&M tonight. Then the selection committee can move Nebraska up to a 7 and A&M as a 10 and have them play in Omaha.
Although, would Texas A&M fans find it like their duty if they are in Omaha that they get wind that Trev Alberts is going to be on a local radio show and he's going to be in the baseball village, that they need to try to muscle out all of the haters, and so they show up in force, and then you got Nebraska fans showing up in force, and all of a sudden that happens?
We would need that riot shield back, Josh.
Yes.
We'd have to recreate that picture.
Call our friends at the.
This is our athletic director. We need to take care of him.
So, Nebraska fans, you heard it here first. Swallow your pride tonight and gig 'em against Kentucky.
Yep.
6 o'clock on the SEC network.
Yeah.
It's whatever their thing is. At the guns or the thumbs up. It's thumbs up, right? Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Gig 'em Aggies tonight against Kentucky.
Howdy.
Get them boys to Omaha. Those poor kids. Those poor kids. They don't even know what they're like. What did I do? You didn't do anything. This isn't your fault, but you are collateral.
I just think
Collateral damage.
I think the committee would, again, if you're not
They
trying to move
love
heaven and earth,
narratives.
they do.
They love storylines.
Like, oh, this would be amazing. You
Mhm.
guys realize what just happened in the state of Nebraska the last week. Okay. Everybody in favor? Yay. Okay. It's approved.
So
7-10.
just something to think about.
Yep.
So maybe we should predict that Nebraska makes a run to the final and picks up a 7 seed.
Yeah, this would have to. I could see them. They could possibly get up to a 7 even without winning the.
I'll say this.
They'd have to be there on Sunday for sure. But
I'll say this about the teams from in the around the 6 line to about the 11 or the 10.
It's fluid.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot of predictions out there, and it sort of becomes this thing where like, oh, we saw it once in Nebraska's a 9, and let's just kind of keep them in that range. They are one of those teams where it's very possible that they end up being a line or 2 higher or lower than anyone ever thought they could be.
That
That
could be
happens
part of that.
every single year. There's 2 or 3 of those teams
are
where it's
over,
like,
underseeded.
why were they overseeded? Why were they? Because they're all the same.
Right.
The current 7-10 matchup in Omaha is Utah State, Mississippi State.
Yeah, that wouldn't quite drive the dollars, Josh.
No.
But you do have an
Stephen
SEC
Ashworth's former school
as the 10 seed.
Oh, there you go.
Cowbells.
We could play into that one.
Dion says, I don't want Trev in Nebraska for 20 years.
Trev wants to be in Nebraska for 20 years.
Even
20-year limit. Then he
Even
can
for
come back.
that scenario that we just laid out for you, come on.
Thou art banished.
Don't you want to make this as uncomfortable as possible?
Sean says, wait till Trev's first call-in show at A&M. That poor call screener.
Yep. Why am I getting all these 402 and 308 numbers? Uh-huh. Oh, we got so-and-so calling in from West Point, Nebraska.
That's odd.
Trev, you know those parts?
Kevin says it would be the most Nebraska thing ever. The Aggies would probably roll Nebraska, and we would be sad.
Yeah, it would be sad, and then we'd really be pissed off at Trev. You did this, front runner.
That's when somebody would die.
Because then he would tweet out a congratulations to his team.
Aggies would be.
Oh yeah, I'm so blessed to know these guys.
Yep. Oh, it would just.
What a great representative of Texas A&M University, Gig'em.
It would really cut to the core.
Somebody would shout Gig'em in the old market and just get mowed over by somebody's SUV.
As A&M is celebrating, because this happens in maybe the round of 32. So A&M, this would be the first round. As A&M is celebrating to go to the round of 32, they're, how sometimes they'll post like tweets up on the video board.
Oh yeah,
they post
Trev's tag board.
They post Trev's tweet on the video board.
They do a camera segment where they'll show all the local dignitaries that are, or the dignitaries from whatever school.
So you get the cheers. And
I would
boos.
imagine that he would get a time on there and a lower third. Trev Alberts, A&M athletic director,
get a lot of reaction.
So just something to think about for this weekend if you needed any extra motivation. It'd be fun.
We have to speak this into existence. But Nebraska, hey, take care of business tonight. Then let's make it work.
All right, Monday morning we'll see you.
Text A&M.
Monday morning we'll see you with bracket in hand.
Yes, indeed.
I want sleepers. I want a 10+ seed going to the Sweet 16.
Hell yeah.
And I don't want UConn winning the national championship.
And let's do something weird. Let's have every 5 seed beat a 12 seed.
There you go.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, finally this is the year. All right, that is Nick Hanley, and that is the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Friday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Women's college basketball audience on Fox is larger than the men's.
Wow. Because of her.
Because of her. Women's basketball is up 48% on Fox, 60% across all national networks. They say the viewership peaked at 4.4 million viewers.
If that was a men's game, those are extraordinary regular season basketball numbers.
But people love their Caitlin Clark.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Plenty of sunshine this Friday with temperatures feeling pretty mild. A high this afternoon of 57 degrees in Omaha with northerly wind gusts possible up to 15 miles an hour. Clear skies continue tonight, but cool. A low of 38, winds shifting more westerly up to 15 miles an hour. Plenty of sunshine, mild conditions with a high of 59 for your Saturday. Meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
Hey, Omaha dog lovers, get ready for more wags and more fun. Hound HQ, your dog's favorite spot for daycare, boarding, and top-notch grooming, is now open. At Hound HQ, there's plenty of space for a pup to sleep, play, and everything in between. Plus, our expert groomers are here to ensure your furry family member always looks fabulous. Join our pack on Facebook and Instagram at The Hound HQ, or visit our website, thehoundhq.com, and sign up your dog today. Hound HQ, more wags, more fun.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code RADIO15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
Velocity Clinical Research in Omaha frequently conducts clinical trials for a broad range of investigational treatments. Typical studies involve medications for high cholesterol, diabetes, infectious diseases, and others. They also perform vaccine studies for people of all ages, conducting innovative research that has a positive impact on lives. Click for current trials at velocityclinicaltrials.com. More trials are launching in March. Compensation for study-related time and travel. Find out more at velocityclinicaltrials.com.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
John and Josh here for the FanDuel Sportsbook, who is putting the ball in your court for the rest of the NBA season. Because right now at FanDuel, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $200 if your bet wins. And on the NBA, there are so many different options. There's quick bets, there's live same-game parlays, there's player props, and a whole lot more. Visit FanDuel.com/1620. Make that first bet, Josh, a layup.
Or, John, a slam dunk. Put those great props together. And again, new customers, you can get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. Just go to that website, FanDuel.com/1620. FanDuel.com/1620. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit is required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
If you're having problems in the bedroom, talking about it is the last thing you want to do. Same goes for hair loss, anxiety, or even depression. That's where HIMS comes in. Through HIMS, you don't have to talk about it. You can do something about it. Just go to hims.com/start, where you can find a variety of potential solutions for the problems men face every day, and save up to 95% on generic alternatives. The entire process is 100% online, making it incredibly simple, straightforward, and above all, private. If prescribed, treatments made using clinically proven ingredients are shipped directly to your door in low-key packaging. So if you're experiencing ED, hair loss, anxiety, or problems with your general health, you don't have to go to the doctor, the pharmacy, or spend all day talking about it. Just go to hims.com/start and do something about it. Get started today at hims.com/start. That's HIMS.com/START.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
Good morning and welcome in. Happy Friday to everyone except Trev Alberts.
That's right.
Here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. Yeah, got to close down those replies, Trev. Otherwise, it's going to be tough. Or is he enjoying this? Is he enjoying this moment? Just to rub it in your guys' faces. You're there. I'm here. I'm in not that place.
Good question.
I am mildly interested in that. We'll talk about that throughout the show today. Welcome to it. We'll talk about the Jays' loss last night in the Big East tournament. Josh is trying to project my feelings on everybody.
I think I know exactly what you're going to say.
Okay.
I'm prepared to do the rant, and then I'll do a fake Happer.
We'll see. We'll ask some more questions about Trev Alberts today. By the way, outside of all this week, it feels like we're definitely changing that 12-team playoff before it even exists. So congratulations to the leaders that be in college football. Kim English is hot and is on Black Twitter. So we have to talk about Black Twitter today.
Who better than you and me?
I couldn't think of two better people to represent the thoughts and understandings of Black Twitter than us, Josh.
Yep.
This is good. Nebraska is an interim athletic director, and they'll play tonight in the Big Ten basketball tournament. Late night at the Target tonight.
Oh, love a late night at Target.
Doesn't quite, ring too well, but 8 o'clock or thereafter. Nebraska against Indiana, where the Huskers are 4.5-point favorites, and they'll look to move into the Big Ten semifinal, which I think will be a really good game before them, Ohio State and Illinois. So a chance for Nebraska to make a run this weekend and maybe make us forget about this whole Trev Alberts thing and go to the NCAA tournament and make us forget about this whole Trev Alberts thing and then advance to the second weekend and continue to make us forget. And soon enough, we're going to have to address the reality at some point. We're going to have to face it, but not today. Not today. Nebraska basketball is playing in playoff basketball today.
How about a little feel good?
Yeah. How about that? Just take our attention off it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, we're still going to talk about it quite a bit. But welcome to the show. Today, we'll have our normal lineup of guests here on a Friday. Bryan Munson will join at the top of the hour. We'll get his thoughts on the comings and goings of the week and also touch a little bit on some recruiting. BC on basketball, as I'm sure he's probably up there already, up in his homeland.
Oh, he made the pilgrimage.
I actually think he's from here, but he roots for Minnesota sports teams.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get his thoughts on his Vikings, who are about to trade two first-round picks to get probably Drake May or something like that. They've acquired another first-round pick as of this morning.
What a weird double move.
Interesting.
Where only one of the moves has happened.
And one Stephen M. Sipple in the noon hour. Honestly, I haven't read or listened to any of Sipple's thoughts this week. Wow. So I'm curious to see where he's landed on this entire thing. Where his mindset's at right now. Yeah, I apologize, Sipple. So he'll have to brief us on that when he joins the show in the noon hour. That is the lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Want to hear from you guys as always on the show, 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline. You can email us, Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. You can tweet at Happer Show at Connor Happer on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Keep sending us those tweets about how excited you are to watch Nebraska versus Texas A&M in the NCAA tournament next week in Omaha. Could be fun. Could be disastrous for some. Could be disastrous for Nebraska. Who knows? But we're going to try and will this into existence just because I'm interested in the drama, obviously.
And thanks for watching along with us on YouTube, 1620 The Zone TV, or on conveniently located on 1620thezone.com. I got Creighton baseball on the radio tonight. Josh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to let this one fly during the broadcast, and I felt super weird about tweeting it. So let me give you a little fact about Creighton baseball.
Oh, okay.
All right. So Creighton and the University of San Francisco,
the Dons, Bill Russell,
connected by Interstate 80.
Okay.
Very close proximity to Interstate 80. That's them, Nebraska, and San Francisco, basically the only schools on their schedule that are connected by Interstate 80. So listen to the broadcast tonight to hear some interstate travel talk.
I always do.
I figured you would.
The I-80 series this weekend.
You cross over that Bay Bridge, Interstate 80, and you slide right into San Francisco. And that's where the University of San Francisco is located. You slide right off of Interstate 80 and you get downtown Omaha. Then you just keep going a little while, and eventually you'll be to the George Washington Bridge on the other side.
So do you think every January or February,
this is the I-80 rivalry, Josh?
The head coach of the Dons says,
Our
goal this season is to just stay on I-80.
Win Interstate 80.
And in June, we'll end up right there.
Yep.
And on I-80.
You say San Francisco is making the trip up I-80? Much like we always say for Nebraska, San Francisco is making the trip up I-80 this weekend.
Absolutely.
To play the Creighton Blue Jays.
Who cares if it's halfway across the country?
Yeah. It's still on it's the same interstate. It's the same road.
What do you think the GPS on their phone is like?
Just take I-80 for 25 hours.
Stay on for 12 hours or it's longer than that.
Yep. It's pretty much the story. There might be some shortcuts in there, but basically you're going to start on Interstate 80 and you're going to end on Interstate 80.
You want to see America, go San Francisco to Omaha.
Mm-hmm. And then, you can go play like St. John's or something like that. And you can take I-80 most of the way there, but you gotta get off at some point. All right. Welcome into a Friday show. We will, of course, recap all the things that were said, talked about yesterday. Trev Alberts did comment to Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald. We'll talk about the Jays' loss in the Big East tournament last night. But of course, there's always room for you all. Oh, good. We have a call about the interstate thing.
Yeah,
this is amazing. This trip.
Your little thing has resonated with people.
Amazing. This is what we do it for, Josh. To the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Here's Donnie. Hey, Donnie.
What's up, guys? It's so nice to talk about something other than some dude taking another job. So a little trivia to attach the state of Nebraska and San Francisco is the head engineer of the San Francisco Bridge, the San Francisco Bay Area Bridge.
The Bay Bridge or the Golden Gate Bridge?
The Bay Bridge.
Okay.
Was engineered by a gentleman that was born in North Bend, Nebraska.
Who's that? What's his name? I'm going to mention this on the broadcast tonight.
I can't think of his name. I'll look it up and I'll text it to your producer. I can't think of his name right offhand, but I do know that he was from Nebraska.
This is great. I'm gonna have a 3-inning tangent tonight on this. This is gonna be awesome. Thanks, Donnie.
Fantastic. I'll send you the info.
All right, perfect. Anybody have any more connections from San Francisco to Omaha or San Francisco to Nebraska? We'll take them all day long.
Charles H. Purcell.
Okay.
Born in North Bend, January 27th, 1883.
That was a long time ago, Josh. Was he born in O'Neill, Nebraska, or whatever he just said?
North Bend,
Nebraska, sorry.
Educated in civil engineering at Stanford for one semester.
Oh, much like Scott Frost.
And then
interesting.
And then he transferred to UNL, where he specialized in bridge design.
Much like Scott Frost, without the bridge part.
He married Minnie Poland in 1914, the daughter of a Portland, Oregon farmer.
Oh, this is amazing. Josh, I need you to write or do your thing and just print out many pages of paper.
Hard copies.
And I will take all of these with me to the baseball field tonight, doing the game with with Kevin McNabb, he's going to be like, "What are you talking about?"
And
I'm going to be like,
bridges?
Kevin, just let me cook. Trust me, I got this. Don't worry.
Wow.
So welcome to the show on a Friday.
There's stuff named after this Purcell guy. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I would assume Purcell.
Purcell.
Yeah, I would assume Purcell.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Donnie. It's much appreciated. Nebraska, handshake beam, San Francisco. Bet you didn't think that was coming to start off the show today. Anyway, Creighton loses to Providence.
It's fine.
So, Josh, what do you want me to say here? We got 10 minutes to talk about it, so let's do it.
Okay, this is what I think you're going to say. If I could do my fake Happer.
All right, so I haven't looked at the screen yet. I haven't looked at the YouTube, so I don't know what you have up there.
Oh, just, everything is fine. Blue Jays drop.
Oh, I was going to say everything is fine.
Yeah.
You should have waited for the payout.
Everything is fine. Providence was a desperate team, and this game didn't matter to Creighton.
That last part, no.
No, okay.
No, that game mattered to Creighton.
Okay.
That game mattered to Creighton.
Good.
When you say that, you're making the implication that for some reason they didn't want to win it.
Wasn't going to do anything for them.
That is probably true. Now, if they winning the Big East final would have done a lot for them, and they needed to win that game to get to the Big East final, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving off the idea that they didn't want to be there or they didn't want to win. That is not the case. They wanted to win. They haven't won a Big East tournament championship yet. They wanted that thing, and they thought that this was the team to do it, considering they had beaten everybody in their way at least one time so far this year.
Happy to be a little bit wrong.
So it's not that, but the first part of what you said and the header on our YouTube right now, everything is indeed fine.
Okay.
Everything is indeed fine. This is the beauty of conference tournaments when you're already in the field. You can't really lose a lot. Creighton definitely did play a desperate team, and they didn't match them for the majority of the game, and that's on them. It would have been awesome for them to win a couple games, push that seed line up, and maybe, and we'll have to reevaluate this on Sunday when the bracket comes out. Maybe they'll regret it on Sunday. Maybe they'll get a bad, draw, and you'll be like, damn it, if they would just would have won 2 more games or 1 more game, then they wouldn't be in this crap situation where they're a 4 or whatever it might be. So maybe they'll regret it on Sunday. But I'll say this. Thank God they don't have to play at Madison Square Garden again. They have sucked there.
House of Horrors.
They have really sucked there. I mean, they played they played their worst game of the last month when they lost to St. John's when Rick Pitino wore the white suit, and just couldn't get it off the ground really at all last night. Baylor had another round of violent misses last night, and they had this stretch where Kalkbrenner really got involved both offensively and defensively, came back, grabbed the lead, and it's funny because they made their first 20 free throws, and they're talking about, well, Creighton's 20 of 20 on free throws, and Providence was, I think, 11 of 11 at the time, and you're like, neither of these teams have missed a free throw the entire game. This is amazing. And it steps up in a situation where it's a 1-point game, and here comes Trey Alexander, who's a very consistent free throw shooter. I think he's almost 80% on the year, and he just clanks both of them. Both of them. So couldn't even retie the game back up. And then on the next possession, I think Kalkbrenner gets fouled and they shoot a 1-and-1, and he missed the front end, and he had been perfect all night.
Yeah.
And so that kind of did it.
It did.
It kind of did it for them. When you say, oh, you made 23 out of 26 free throws and you shot 89% for the free throw line, you're like, hey, that's pretty good. But they missed them all in clutch time last night. And I thought Kalkbrenner was, man, that guy takes so much heat from Creighton fans, and I still don't get it. I still don't get it personally. But it is what it is. Baylor was obviously not himself. He had a bad game, and Stephen Ashworth can't get a damn open 3 to go. I mean, there was one that was about 75% of the way through the bucket, and it rattled the rim about 6 times and came out. When the game was in flux inside the final 4 minutes of the game. Man, this guy can't catch a break at all. What is he shooting on the year now? Stephen Ashworth. Because remember, he came to Creighton from Utah State having shot almost 44% from three, 43% from three last year. He's currently shooting 33.5% from three this year. I mean, it's just, and he's got open looks. He's going to continue to get open looks too, and he just can't get a lot of them to go down. It's not like, he's just not getting a lot of them to go down at this point. So with that being said, like Josh guessed, everything is fine. And for the sake of consistency, because people call me a homer and stuff like that, if Nebraska loses tonight, it's also fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. You'd like to see him make a run. You'd like to see him give them a shot to improve their seeding. You'd love to see all of these things. But this is the beauty of conference tournaments when you're not living life in the bubble. Nebraska's not on the bubble. Creighton's not even close to the bubble. And so there's no real pressure on them to win these games. And in Creighton's case last night and in Nebraska's case tonight, they'll be playing teams who already have a game underneath their belt at the tournament, which I've always been of the opinion that in the team's second game, it becomes advantageous to them. In their third game, it begins to wear. But in their second game, you're more, you saw it for Nebraska women against Maryland in the Big Ten tournament. They had a grinder of a game underneath their belt against Purdue, where they came out horribly. And Purdue was giving them a real scare there as a team that came from the first day and found a way to eke it out, won the basketball game, got to the second day, and shot the lights out and beat the crap out of Maryland. That's a script that we've seen over and over and over again. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Nebraska lost tonight. Obviously, it's not preferred. Is it the worst thing in the world? No. No, it's just not.
I just worry about needing to, we have to flip the switch, and we have to flip it right now. No room for error. Next week in the tournament.
But that's the game that we play.
Yeah.
That is the NCAA tournament. That's just it. And you have to be on that day. And if not, you have to find a way to grind one out and win it. To be fair from what I saw from Creighton last night, like I'm a bit more dubious about their ability to grind one out and win it. That was like the perfect example last night. Yeah, they're basically getting held at arm's length the entire game, and then they chip, make a run, come back, take the lead, and then lose it. Right? Like that would be a game where if they had won it, you'd be like, wow, that's box check, postseason play. Not everything's going your way, and they found a way somehow. Now, to be fair, they had done that several times during the regular season, including one against Providence earlier in the year in Omaha. But it didn't happen for them last night, and that's the risk you run. That is the risk you run. Fortunately for Creighton, they put themselves in a position where their margin for error will be much bigger in the first round.
Right.
Nebraska's will not be.
Nebraska's going to play a carbon copy of themselves.
Nebraska's going to play themselves. Can they be better than the other team across from them? Yep. Or find a way to grind one out. On Creighton, here's an email from Bullet Point Bob.
Oh, hi, BPB.
Conan. It's pretty good. I love the bit.
It is.
Watching that Creighton Big East tournament game last night, I have the following thoughts. He has 4 bullet points as his Bullet Point Bob.
Okay.
Looks like Baylor picked up an NIL deal with Flowbee, but he needs someone to help him on how to actually use the product.
Pull a question up at Happer Show. Remember Flowbee?
Yeah. It was not a great haircut.
Yeah.
But maybe he's doing it as a bit. I don't know. He's changed his hair a lot since he's been here. Remember the headband whole thing last year?
Do you think players in the Big East, like you always hear baseball players like, in February, I called a barbershop in Omaha and booked a haircut during the College World Series because I knew we were going to go.
Yeah.
Do you think players in Big East basketball call up barbershops in New York City and like, hey,
no,
March, I'm going to be there.
I think they get their haircut. I think they get their hairs cut before they go on the road. But you can tell, this is almost always the case for like big nationally televised games. They'll all have a haircut right before.
Mm-hmm. Do they have a barber?
I'm sure they just don't. I'm sure. No, I bet they don't.
Okay.
I bet they don't. No.
A lot of teams do now.
Some teams do. Yeah. I wonder if Trev will hire a barber for Texas A&M. Well, point two.
Well, it's a military school. Yes, I think there is probably a barber
That's true.
on the campus or something.
It happened a time or two last night, but on the overall season, does Ashworth look like a drunk toddler on roller skates? His emphasis on selling fouls by throwing himself on the floor is next level. I mean, he's a small guy. I think that's kind of the start and end of it. But yeah, he looked beat up last night. That's for sure. He is definitely on the ground a lot. Man, that play that he made to, I think they were down by 6 and he got the and one, like, I'm just going to chuck it up and see what happens layup. That was a wild play.
Hoop in the harm.
Wild. He got the hoop in the harm. Bullet point number 3, has Kim English shown in one season that losing Ed Cooley to Georgetown was actually a benefit to Providence? That didn't take long. Respect to Ed Cooley for what I am not certain, but for why I am not certain, but still respect to Ed Cooley. At least more respect than he showed his. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Now that it is tournament time, Creighton cannot afford another 18-minute cardio game from Mason Miller. Got to get more out of him the rest of the way. And he's just going dude by dude, just roasting everybody.
I like it. Some of these guys need to get roasted.
Who cares about the Providence loss? Conference tournaments are not meant to be won. Not a big deal. Let the teams fighting for an actual NCAA tournament bid battle out. The opportunity to rest and be fresh going into Monday to prep your Thursday, Friday game is way more important. That actually didn't seem sarcastic from Bullet Point Bob. That might be the first time we've ever agreed. Handshake meme with Bullet Point Bob.
Conan, Bullet Point Bob, handshake meme.
All right. We get a text from you guys and plenty as we go on throughout the show today. Always love to hear from you, but let's take a break and we'll talk with Bryan Munson of HuskerOnline.com next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Warmer weather means even hotter savings during the last weekend of the 42 Degrees Spring Sale. Drop in for unbelievable savings on American Glass, Kratom, Premium Cannabis, Tyson Disposables, THC Edibles, Dr. Dabber Devices, and more. This is a limited time sale that is sure to put a spring in your step. It's the last weekend of the Spring Sale at 42 Degrees. Your destination for top-tier cannabis, second-to-none product selection, and exceptional service. Buy your mom's house.
The college basketball championship is fast approaching, and 1620 The Zone has your chance to win a local 1620 The Watch Party at Backlot Tap House in Exarban for you and your crew. Come on! Plus, we're taking 1620 The Watch Party to Las Vegas. One grand prize winner will score a flyaway to Las Vegas to stay at the Circa Resort and Casino. Join in on the madness. Don't miss your shot to enter to win now at 1620thezone.com. Powered by Circa Resort and Casino and Backlot Tap House.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet, the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day my life is going to be part of a musical.
However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be the villain.
Listen to Ridiculous History wherever you get your podcasts.
Shop Woodhouse Hyundai during the Hyundai Getaway Sales event going on right now. With the most versatile lineup of sedans and SUVs, like the Hyundai Elantra or Santa Fe. Plus, your choice of standard engines, plug-in hybrid, or fully electric vehicles. Right now, lease the 2024 Hyundai Kona SE for $199 per month for 24 months and 12,000 miles per year. And when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Shopper Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Start your deal online at woodhousehyundai.com today. Browse our inventory, personalize your payments, apply for financing, and more. Convenience delivered every time. This is Woodhouse Hyundai. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. First payment $3,999 down plus $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires April 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Lula Bee's Breakfast, Brunch, and Bar is downtown Omaha's go-to spot for great food with a Mexican flair. Lula Bee's has everything from French toast and omelets to shrimp tacos and burgers. There's even a full bar with uniquely inspired spring fling cocktails. Want to have a party? Lula Bee's has a party room that seats up to 65 of your favorite people with custom catering available. Book for graduation parties, family events, bridal celebrations, or just brunch with all your friends. Lula Bee's, 9th and Dodge, or at lulabeesomaha.com.
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
You know what Mentality can help you with? Low energy, motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, tired all the time, feeling anxious, moody, irritability, impatience, anxiety, and depression. Mentality can help you with their board-certified physicians and their testosterone treatments that can take care of you and get you back in the game. You can regain normal function and restore your ability to perform normally at all levels just by Mentality. Set up an appointment today. Go to lowtusa.com. Get back in the game. Don't sit on the sidelines and let Mentality lead the way.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Come out!
Bryan Munson.
Hey, long call. Comfy left Zoom Buster. 63 Bang Z Maui. Alert. Paradise Z Burger Y Wrap on one.
Husker Online on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. We're joined now on the 42 Degrees, the Source Hotline on a bright, sunny Friday by Bryan Munson of HuskerOnline.com. Hello, Bryan.
I thought you were going to describe me as bright and sunny.
Yeah, I was trying to find a bridge to get there, but basically you are the example of like a bright, sunny person, so it makes sense that it's a bright, sunny Friday.
Oh my goodness! I tell you what, I've never been saddled with that one before, but I like it. I like it. It's a Friday, and I think that I was just saying, I don't think you and I are going to talk much about recruiting. It seems like there's just way too much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
That is just, I think that if you and I could have listed out 100 things that could have happened between last Friday to today, I don't think that either one of us would have said that Trev Alberts leaves Nebraska to go to Texas.
No, I would not have gotten there. I don't think you would have needed a few more hundred spots on that list at least.
Well, even to include like the world stops spinning would have been like in the top 100 or even before Trev leaves Nebraska.
Yeah, some sort of meteor.
Yeah, exactly. Like the end of civilization as we know it.
Yep.
Like, the sun is not coming up today. So yeah, I mean, I'm wondering how we got here, dude. That's really where I think everything starts at.
I actually do want to ask you, because I know you stay connected and talk to people. Like, what is the reaction you've got on this, whether it's from the recruiting community or just anybody that you've sort of talked to this week? Like, what's the preeminent thought that comes out of it?
There was really one recruit in specific that I wanted to. I take that back. And it wasn't to kind of skirt Tyson Terry at all. I wanted to catch up with Caden Vermoss because I had seen and heard about him having conversations like down on the field with Trev Alberts before, and I reached out to Connor Booth a little bit for like. What are you feeling? Like, what are like the thoughts here? And I think people, like last night, there was some genius on Twitter that said, yeah, recruit picks a school because of the AD. Trev Alberts is not your everyday run-of-the-mill AD. I mean, he was incredibly involved when it came to recruiting. And I think that when it comes to the overall vision and where he was kind of taking things at, I mean, that leadership was present, in basically the program and while Trev, was there, it was still Matt's program, but he was still enabling Matt to do the things that Matt wanted to get done, to do all the things, to change the culture, to be more successful, et cetera, et cetera. Trev was involved in all that. And yeah, you have to ask that question. So I think Caden is he's such an intelligent and well-grounded individual. And I think Nebraska fans, at least for the most part on Red Sea Scrolls yesterday and Husker Online, they acknowledged that based on just like the maturity of his comments, and to kind of, say like, look, if he had a better opportunity, I'm glad he took it, because like we as recruits and as commitments went back to Matt Rule and said, kind of similarly, we don't want Tony White to leave. We want Tony White to stay here. And Matt Rule basically said, I want Tony White to get that opportunity to become a head coach. And he said, I looked at it the very same way Matt Rule told me, you cannot stand in the way of other people in where they want to take their career path. And I tell you what, for a 17-year-old kid to be telling
that's pretty mature.
It's incredibly mature. And then to kind of see and hear the comments, of course, that are being posted and being read on social media.
They've been less mature.
Stuff like that. Yes. I mean, incredibly. I mean, it's such a stark contrast. And I think that obviously it hurts. I mean, he told me, he's like, Trev's a great guy. He's like, I wish that I could have tell you more like about the sidebar conversations I had with him on the field and stuff like that. But he was like, he will be missed, but we'll be fine, is basically what it came down to. Yeah. And I tell you what, was there a better tweet than what Matt Rule gave and posted on Wednesday night? I mean, the Paul Harvey comments about why, about being a
God
farmer.
made a farmer.
And I'm telling you, I mean, there's still some things about Paul Harvey's voice that'll just send chills up and down my spine.
That's true.
Yeah, and just that and the overlay of the Nebraska highlights, I felt like it was all very well timed. But yeah, it's been chaotic. I mean, in short, it's been incredibly chaotic. Like I said, couldn't have predicted this. The recruits seem to be able to kind of move forward, and I think that that's based on the fact that you have an incredible coaching staff that Trev Alberts put in place.
Yeah, and I certainly, as far as all the pushback now over the last 48 hours, I understand the frustration. Like I do. And because it's really difficult to sort of piece together. And I get that, but obviously, and Trev's now going to do another job, and his job is to be the athletic director at Texas A&M. So he's going to he's going to promote Texas A&M, and he's going to, support Texas A&M athletics. And for now, considering he was just, retweeting that Fred Hoiberg won Coach of the Year three days ago, it was really it's been really difficult to swallow, I think, for people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Munson, like where do you come down on just the reaction that people have had to this? And I mean, you talked about it with the maturity of some of the recruits that you talked to, but it's been wild to sort of take in the last 48 hours.
No, I totally agree with that. And I think that there's been a very angry, passionate kind of response. Some of the tweets have been cringe, total cringe factor. But I think that that's the range of emotion. I think you have the range of emotions now about trying to fathom the idea that Trev Alberts left, a recruit of Tom Osborne's, coming back to university, just signing an extension, just having all these things, having said all these things, and then poof, he's gone. To basically then turning things around and questioning the Board of Regents, and not having a president, and bringing all politics into it. This is a very difficult thing to kind of keep some things out of it, and to leave it to just a couple of things like going to find an AD. I feel like though, in marking Trev Alberts as transitioning out, I think there isn't a better play. I don't know if there's a better person to take on the interim AD job than Dennis LeBlanc.
That's true.
I think up and down the line, he has the respect of the players, of the faculty, of basically historically all the players that have come there and played for him in every sport, not just football, every sport. And I tell you what, there is not another person that through all of my 20 plus years of covering recruiting that isn't really on the Nebraska coaching staff that gets mentioned to me by recruits and family members more than Dennis LeBlanc.
Yeah.
He is a key cog to that whole process, to the football program, to the university when it comes to the student athletes and the success that they have. So I feel like they knocked that part out of the park, and obviously Trev acknowledged that as well too. But yeah, I think that there's been, I think the reactions, anything has been quote unquote normal, but I think Nebraska responded with the strongest things that they could do with Matt Rule's tweet to Dennis LeBlanc being named interim AD.
Yeah. You mentioned it was something that was pointed out many times last night, but you know maybe better than most because talking to recruits about their visit, and one of the things that they'll do on their visit is they'll take them through the academic presentation and the life skills presentation, and they make a really big deal out of it, and it's good. But also then they get here and then they realized, oh, this guy is Dennis LeBlanc is going to be one of the most important people to sort of keep me on track if I need anything here. And every single time, and on top of players or recruits, it's also coaches. I can't think of a single coach who I've talked to in the last, decade or whatever of not mentioning, man, what they do over there and the life skills department and him in particular. It's every single time.
The quote, and I'm not sure if it was, unfortunately, Blake Lawrence is a name that's been kind of rekindled because his stepbrother got an offer this last week. And I remember Blake yesterday, retweeting and commenting about Dennis LeBlanc. And I'm not sure if Blake said this, but if he didn't, it was somebody else that was, in that same kind of era, Will Compton, Josh Williams-ish, But they basically said, you come to Nebraska to be successful, and Dennis LeBlanc set you up for success. They said, basically, you get put into that system, and you have to try to fail. That's how successful Dennis LeBlanc is with his process and what he is able to do with his system there at Nebraska. And I don't know if I've ever heard anything more powerful than that. Like, you have to legitimately try to fail. If you're doing the things that you're doing, you're going to do great. But if you go in there and really work against the grain, yeah, you might fail then. But you really have to try not to fail.
Hey Munson, I don't know if you know any specifics, but just because you have close proximity to Texas A&M, what is the climate and the temperature of the situation that he walks into? Because obviously from the outside looking in, it doesn't it's been a place with a lot of turnover and a lot of upheaval over the last several years and some hasty decisions as well. What do you think the temperature of the place that he walks into is?
Oh, it's hot. I mean, you have basically the Jimbo contract that people are still reeling from. You have a baseball facility upgrade of $80 million that they're trying to get through. You have all the politics, and I'm not going to go here with you on it, but all the politics that's going on right now with the state governor and the border and everything else, it's impacting every Texan. Let's just put it that way. He's going to be dealing with every single bit of it. There are a lot of things here. I read Trev's statement and read the president's statement at A&M about Trev and I get it. There's the educational part of this thing is incredibly important right now. But I tell you what, it's an incredibly different environment down here at the moment. My wife's in education. I hear it every single day about things that are happening in the classroom and with the policies that are changing. And it's a very, very real thing down here in Texas. So there's some slippery slopes that are happening. And I think Texas A&M right now, they're trying to figure out how to get out of their rut because their baseball team's having some tremendous success. Their football team hasn't had the success. NIL is broken in College Station. Let's just be honest. And I think that's a big reason why Trev might have also left was because of the NIL program potentially that he can kind of go build from the ground up, because I got this feeling
I'm with you.
that he really, he really wants to kind of have more control in that space.
I think he likes fixing things. I think he likes organizationally fixing things.
I think that there's a big part of that. And when you kind of put it on cruise control for him and he can't put his creative touches on it, like it might not have 100% the vision. And that kind of then drives him a little bit wacko when he can't get it back on it, get it back over to him to like where he can touch it and figure it out. So he's going to have a chance to stand that whole thing up in College Station, because it is a broken system right now.
Yeah. Munson, great stuff as always. Good to chat with you, my friend. I'm going to put this one on your radar before we let you go. So we were talking about this in the crossover. So Texas A&M basketball is on the bubble, and Nebraska could, with a successful weekend, could be somewhere in that 7 to 10 range. Bubble teams probably end up at 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. Just if you see the bracket come out on Sunday night and it says Nebraska and Texas A&M are playing maybe downtown, just a couple miles from where I'm sitting right now, just prepare yourself for what happens after that.
I'm telling you right now, you had me at the very beginning. I knew where you were going with that. I was trying to keep my laughter down to a minimum so you could get through it. But, dude, how poetic that would be. I don't even know. I may have to go ahead and make a quick run up to Omaha like I did before. So don't be surprised if that gets set up, that you'll see me somewhere. And if I do, I'll drop you a message.
Yeah, it would be biblical. It would be wild stuff up here. So just
now
prepare.
I'm going to sit here and hope that it sets up like that. I'll be disappointed if it doesn't, dude.
Me too. It's too good to be true, though. All right, Munson, have a good weekend, man. See ya.
Do the same, buddy. See ya.
Bryan Munson of HuskerOnline.com. I'm going to bring that up to everybody I talked to today. Everyone that I see.
We have to manifest this.
I'm telling everyone I know about this. Before we get to a little bit of breaking news here, I think Trev, in the situation that he walked into at Nebraska, that was objectively not pretty, right? Bill Moose had just been retired, and
great term for it.
He was barely running the athletic department. This was post-COVID. He had a lame duck football coach who the support for him in the state was totally divisive. And think about the time when he took over in the fall, prior to the fall of 21. It was super divisive, and nobody was sure what to think about him yet. Give him more time or don't. We're just getting into this NIL transfer portal world. It's kind of there's no. He told me and I can't remember the term he used for it. It's very businessy and accounting, but when we sat down at media days, this is within days of him taking the job in 21. And he was like, Nebraska has not done a comprehensive business model, something like that. Don't quote me on that. A comprehensive business rundown in years, I think he was totally energized by the idea of quote unquote fixing Nebraska, right? Which makes it partly more shocking that he didn't see it through. But also I think he's totally energized by the idea of looking at what from the outside looking in is kind of a bleep show at Texas A&M, firing coaches and $70 million buyouts and big money and oil money and all this junk. I think he's energized by the idea of attempting to bring that together. He loves it. He loves it. He loves fixing stuff.
He does seem to like a project.
Yeah.
Like what's the meme?
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work, but
fix.
could be fun to fix.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably Trev.
Yeah.
To some extent.
And so you look at that job and you're like, that meets some of his qualifications. That's for sure. And, while the political environment might not, might be close to whatever it is here, it's, the money's there, right? The support is there. Sleeping giant is a term that has been used at Texas A&M for years.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wonder where.
Does that sound familiar at all?
It sounds very, very, very familiar. Frightening. Familiar.
We'll talk to Brian Christopherson on the other side from Minneapolis as the Huskers get ready for their game tonight against Indiana. But late breaking news out of the NFL, Josh.
Quarterbacks rejoice.
Yep.
Aaron Donald has retired from the Los Angeles Rams and the National Football League this morning.
He's no longer chasing you in your dreams or nightmares, I suppose.
Tough 24 hours for John Bishop.
Good point, Josh. It's just congratulations to quarterbacks.
Yeah. We're staying positive. Everything's fine.
Congratulations to like Kyler Murray and Drew Lock and Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Great job by you. Or I should say Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Good job by those guys. Aaron Donald, a potentially probably Hall of Fame worthy NFL career.
I would, it
was relatively short-lived.
To go out on that
relatively short-lived, but yes, he was basically the best player in the NFL for like 3 years. So, yeah, I think that probably does it. Won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, from that position to be the best player in the NFL for that.
We ringed him.
We did. Remember when he went like that?
Yes, he was was he the first guy to do that? He might have started that trend.
I think so. He's the first time I remember seeing it.
We ringed him.
And then Caitlin Clark did it, and we all freaked out.
Baymont says we need a wellness check on John Bishop.
Definitely.
He's probably he was parading around the streets of New York City this morning. He may not have heard yet. He may not know. John Bishop, have you heard the news?
Call in once. I need your live reaction.
And your takes on Black Twitter.
Yes. Now there's the person you need to get to.
When you looked at Kim English up close last night, did you think he was a good-looking guy?
Did you think? That's a handsome man.
Did you know what was going on Black Twitter last night? All right. Quick timeout. BC's up on the other side on 16-20 The Zone, but FanDuel is putting the ball in your court for the rest of the NBA season. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. It's easy. Just win a $5 bet and you get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. And so to do that, you can come up with any one of these options or more. There's quick bets available for you on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Live same game parlays. Hey, I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to go over his rebounds here. Let's do it. That you could do that live. Player props, plenty more good old money lines and spreads as well. Head over to FanDuel.com/Happer. Just make a $5 bet and win it and get $200 in bonus bets. That's any winning $5 bet. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is and has always been locally owned and operated. Now, with 160 employee owners, chances are one of us lives in your neighborhood. We take pride in taking care of you, our customers, and keeping you comfortable all year round. And as always, our technicians don't have sales quotas. When other companies send salespeople, Standard sends qualified technicians. It's just part of
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Where to watch college basketball just got easier. 72 Table and Tap is offering $2 Coors drafts with a purchase of a Coors Cup. Paired with one of the biggest TVs in Ralston is a slam dunk. 72 Table and Tap is just south of Ralston Arena, so stop in before the concert or come watch the tournament. Indulge in some smoked wings, a goldfish breaded pork tenderloin, tasty bar food, pizzas, and sandwiches. There's a reason customers keep coming back. 72 Table and Tap. Eat, drink, gather, and repeat.
I'm Chris Sylvester with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Los Angeles Chargers are trading wide receiver Keenan Allen to the Bears for a fourth-round pick. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport is reporting that the Chargers approached Allen about a pay cut on Thursday, but he declined. Over in our nation's capital, where the Commanders are trading Sam Howell to the Seahawks, Seattle will also receive Washington's 4th and 6th round draft picks in this year's draft in exchange for the Seahawks' 2024 3rd and 5th round picks. More trade news coming out of Atlanta, where the Falcons are sending Desmond Ridder to the Cardinals in exchange for wide receiver Rondale Moore. Over in Jacksonville, the Jaguars are signing former Niners DT Eric Armstead to a 3-year contract worth up to $51 million in max value. Elsewhere, the Eagles agreed to a 1-year deal with former Buccaneers linebacker Devin White. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos, a better, easier way to get term life insurance, all online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Hey there, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Well, it's time to get all your new permits and stamps for hunting, fishing, fur harvesting, and state parks. Time to check your motorboat registration for renewal. Time to make those cabin and camping reservations in the state parks if you haven't done that already. And time to go over all of your outdoor gear for spring and summer. There you go. Have a good one in the great outdoors. I'm Greg Wagner.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey, Brian. Brian Christopherson.
I gotta take this a tap.
B. Rooney drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Bryan Christopherson of Husker 247 joining us now on the 42 Degrees Source Hotline. BC, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you? Where are you? Are you on the road yet? What's going on?
Not that far on the road. We're kind of I'm with my brother who's decided to go up and watch Nebraska win it all this weekend. Of course, that's going to happen. So we're just in Iowa, barely getting going here. Probably going to get there about 5-ish, so kind of a little close. But we've done this before with Vikings Twins trips, so we feel like we're professionals.
Yeah, it's a short drive, and luckily or not so luckily, I guess Nebraska plays it like they're going to play later than 8:00 tonight. Unfortunately,
you think so? Yeah.
So you might have a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, if you're annoyed at home about it, just think about me and think like, oh, that's good for him maybe, and try to look at it that way.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to do it. Well, BC, okay, so first of all, before we get into like everything from this week, what do you think about the week that was for your beloved Minnesota Vikings, who have now acquired an extra draft pick with the
with the idea to potentially move up and take one of the top 2 or 3 QBs in the draft?
I think the Vikings have done a lot of good moves that aren't going to matter that much this year. Like, it's like I feel like every move they're making, I'm kind of like, yeah, I kind of like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, who's the quarterback? Is it Sam Darnold still? Is that our idea? So, I mean, I understand why we're there and why we have to be there for at least this season. But whenever your QB is, maybe we're about to see Sam Darnold be something we didn't know he could be, or that we thought he could be, like 5 years ago. So who knows?
BC,
I guess.
so did you hear that they acquired another draft pick this morning, and they're basically going to trade? It seems like they're going to trade both of those to move up, like into the top 3 or 4.
I don't know that. That's
Okay.
news to me. So that, I mean,
You might have some hope for Drake May or something like that.
even so, though, you're gonna, there's gonna be a development year. You would figure where, I'm one of those people. I was a big Kirk guy, and I know people, have their jokes about him. I would love to have a quarterback that's top 5 in the NFL, yes, but I always was really felt good about even having a quarterback like 6 through 12. You know what I mean? Like you feel solid and like you're going to have a good shot on that Sunday. And when you're not in that boat, it feels very precarious in the NFL. And so I feel like that's where the Vikes might be for a season or two, even if they are making some good moves around it.
All right, BC. Let's get into the rest of the deal here. I guess we can kind of connect it with Nebraska basketball. Obviously, the timing of Trev Alberts leaving and that sort of dominating the news cycle this week is crazy, because Nebraska basketball is gearing up to do something that maybe it's never done before, and that could happen within a week's time here. So I guess when you piece all that together, and you sort of think about the whirlwind of the week and now going into the weekend and the long drive up to Minneapolis, sort of where does your head go first?
Well, first off, when it comes to the coaches and teams, whether it's basketball, whether it's the, Matt Rule and the football team getting ready for spring football, I think they get such tunnel vision, and I mean that in a good way, where it's like you have so many things you got to worry about just in your orbit that, you want it to get, you want to get someone in this chair that is really good and you're going to like that's on your mind somewhat, but it can't be like a focal point, and it's certainly not for players, that are in college, I think, that are getting ready to compete this weekend. I don't see it as being a distraction or anything like that for them. So, hopefully, I'm sure it was wild, for some of those guys, like when they're up in Minneapolis on Wednesday and all that stuff is happening, or the baseball team is in Wichita while that was going down. It's one of those strange days in Husker athletics, but we get used to strange days around here. I guess, we're kind of built to handle things like that at this point. So I think, especially the college athletes, they kind of brush it off and just like, okay, what's in front of me, and that's how they look at it.
Yeah, I think so, and that would be the right way to kind of approach it, especially with a big weekend ahead. As Brian Christopherson of Husker 24/7 joins us. I don't want to talk about the Trev thing too much, because we'll cover it with all of our other guests. So I don't know if you have any sort of lingering thoughts on what happened or why or the reaction to it. Like, I don't know. Here's your opportunity, BC. Like, if there's anything you want to get off your chest on the Trev thing, here you go.
I think there's some unknowns that, people are sort of speculating is taking as whatever opinion you want to have on it, you kind of run with one of the speculative points and build on it. Obviously, Trev didn't love how the leadership structure was setting up. I think that's been made clear at this point. I understand his frustrations there. I also guess I'd say he had a big stick to carry. I mean, in his role, and he was going to continue to do so. No matter what. So I sort of feel like at the end of the day, I understand where he's coming from, but it might be as simple as he took a job he thought was slightly better to him, and could advance him a little bit. And I'd almost be more content if that was like what was said, and because I feel like that's what really happened, than some of the other stuff that's getting talked about. Because the bottom line is Texas A&M is, we've watched it from afar. That if you think there's cooks in the kitchen here, there's going to be plenty down there as well. So that storyline doesn't really hold up too well for me. Maybe he likes who the president is down there and all that, and if that does matter. Nonetheless, he's going to have to deal with a lot of people with differing viewpoints and differing ways of wanting to do stuff, and a lot of powerful people. So I think he's a person who, he's ambitious. I think he sees himself as like a commissioner type, and maybe this is like a step that's a little bit closer to that for him, or that's how he sees it at least, or the way he can get there. I don't know that for sure, but you kind of listen to him talk, and you've heard reports that he was interested, even in some of the commissioner jobs and like CFP committee positions that were very important, or executive positions, and it kind of adds up to that thought. So I guess that's where I'm at with it. I think they'll have a lot of really good candidates because Nebraska, is in one of the two power leagues right now. And I sort of think they should go after someone who has a little cachet to his name, because I think that matters right now, to have an AD who can walk into the room and he's built up somewhat of a resume and has respect, because there's some interesting like young candidates that are getting thrown out, but I don't know if I think this is the time that you want to play that game. I kind of want someone whose name is a little bit known in those circles, because you got to get right to business.
Yep. Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7's with us. BC, does Nebraska ball have a run in them this weekend, and what does that look like? But could we be talking about having a game on Sunday afternoon right prior to Selection Sunday?
Well, I think it's certainly possible. They got a tough one tonight. Indiana's won 5 in a row. They're playing for their lives, and I think Indiana's about to run out of gas, but they might have one more in them. And I know they didn't play great last night. It was kind of an ugly game with Penn State, but I don't know if you think this, Happer, but sometimes I think that team that plays the first night,
absolutely,
starts the second game, they have a slight edge for maybe 5 to 10 minutes at least. Because they've been in that on the floor, they've been in that setting, that particular gym, and they kind of got out the whatever you got to get out that first game. And Nebraska was back in their hotels, which everybody was happy about, and it's good. But this is that part where you got to deal with those first 5 to 8 minutes of this game in a new environment while the other team's a little used to it. So that's going to be key. And then they've just got to do as well as they possibly can and not let Khalil Ware just get like lob plays all night. Indiana is so good about just feeding him dunks and layups, and he has become, to me, one of the best players in this league with how fluid he is around the rim. He affects a lot of shots. So you got to kind of control him. And then Nebraska's perimeter should win this game. They have to be better at the guard spots. They have been against Indiana and the other two wins. Xavier Johnson is back, so you got to deal with him, but I still think I give the edge to Nebraska there. So you hope you maybe get a nice performance off the bench from a Wilcher or Jamarcus Lawrence, and that's the sort of thing I think that maybe puts you over the edge at this time of year.
Before we let you go, call your seed line. Nebraska gets its name announced on Sunday at about 5:30. What is the seed attached to them?
I think they're going to be the 9 seed. I'll say they're a 9 seed. I know some will say that's a little lower than they think it's going to be, but maybe it depends a little with what they do this weekend. I don't know how much it does, though. I'm kind of in that camp that sometimes thinks you can't move your seed line very much this last weekend. And I think it'll be an 8 or a 9, but I'll put me down as a 9.
I will say this, and I mentioned this before. There's always, and especially it happens with the teams who have a similar profile to Nebraska, where you're in between that kind of 7 to 10 range or 6 to 11 range. There's always a team or two in that group that ends up going
a seed up or two down because the committee just thinks differently about them than all the bracketologists do. So that is in play at least a little bit for Nebraska. So I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they were like one up, one down from what everyone thought.
I'm with you on that. And we were listening driving, and I heard you talking 710 and the A&M thing. So let's talk that into existence. That'd be beautiful.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad you brought it up because it was coming. That's for sure. All right, BC, have a safe drive. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Brian Christopherson of Husker 24/7. He's in
your favorite sports show's favorite sports show. Jack yesterday.
Thanks
BC
for listening,
today.
Christopherson brothers. We appreciate it. By the way, I'd like to clean something up from before. When I said that Aaron Donald was maybe a Hall of Famer, I was joking, okay?
A lot of new listeners this week,
right,
Connor.
Just making sure.
They don't know the inner workings of the show.
So we got a comment from Justin who said, you guys just really debated Donald maybe being a Hall of Famer. He had 3 defensive players of the year. Yeah, he's one of the best, like 2 or 3 defensive linemen of all time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think he'll probably go to the Hall of Fame.
Maybe right away.
Maybe he'll go to the Hall of Fame. Maybe
in 5 years.
All right, we got Purdue and Michigan State on right now. They just took a break. So 27-21 Boilers with 3:03 left in the first half. Keep an eye on that one for game 1 at the Big Ten tournament. Nebraska has game 4 this evening in the nightcap.
Not going to start until the middle of the night.
They'll be playing on that same court. Brian will be there, and he's not even close right now.
Doesn't have to be.
All right, quick timeout. Josh has the odd news on the other side on 1620 The Zone. This will stand as one of your final reminders because this weekend, Sunday, is our deadline to enter in for the big Vegas trip, the 1620 The Watch Party. Somebody's getting a flyaway trip to Circa Resort and Casino to watch the second weekend of the big tournament on a giant television with several pools and many people around you. It's going to be an awesome trip. And so get registered for that at 1620thezone.com. And if you don't win, there's a little safety net underneath you. You could win a watch party at Backlot Tap House in Exarban for you and your friends. Registration's only open until Sunday. Whoa. So you got to get in right now. Thank you to Circa Resort and Casino, and thank you to Backlot Tap House. Enter to win and sign up for the email list while you're at it, 1620thezone.com.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? You get a lot of junk in your inbox. This one, not junk at all. 1620 the email. Exclusive content, contests, other stuff probably. Subscribe today at 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from a Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Plenty of sunshine and mild temperatures for your Friday with a high today in Omaha of 57 degrees with northerly winds up to 15 miles an hour. Staying clear and cool tonight with a low of 38. Winds a bit breezy early, west-northwesterly, also up to 15 miles an hour. Mostly sunny, breezy, and mild as we start the weekend with a high of 59 on Saturday. Gusts up to 30 miles an hour with very high fire danger. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Certified Transmissions built its reputation on the job done right. It means hard work, honesty, and integrity.
And together, we ensure our customers leave satisfied and worry-free.
Certified Transmission, the job done right at the right price.
Hey, Omaha dog lovers, get ready for more wags and more fun. Hound HQ, your dog's favorite spot for daycare, boarding, and top-notch grooming is now open. At Hound HQ, there's plenty of space for a pup to sleep, play, and everything in between. Plus, our expert groomers are here to ensure your furry family member always looks fabulous. Join our pack on Facebook and Instagram at The Hound HQ, or visit our website, thehoundhq.com, and sign up your dog today. Hound HQ, more wags, more fun.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet, the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day my life is going to be part of a musical.
However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be the villain.
Listen to Ridiculous History, wherever you get your podcasts.
Woodhouse Buick is bringing you more for the new year. With every new Buick purchase from Woodhouse, we're including 3 years of scheduled maintenance. Plus, with our current lease offers going on now, you'll save even more. Lease a 2024 Buick Encore GX for $297 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. With approved credit, must finance with GM Financial. Must currently lease a 2019 or newer GM vehicle to qualify. $2,795 down payment and first payment plus $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires April 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Like eating out? Like saving money? Then get to Cobb's at 180th and Center, Shadow Lake Town Center, or 72nd and Jones for their daily specials. Tuesday is $3 off all burgers and sandwiches. Wednesday, buy any specialty pizza and get a one-topping 50% off. Then Thursday, all wings are $1 each when you order 10. And this just in, all Cobb's locations now offer their own delivery service. Click CobbsPizza.com to see the menu. Cobb's, pizza, and so much more.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Omaha fans, are you ready to score tickets to your favorite events hassle-free? Yes. Shop local Tickets for Less, located right here in Omaha, 145th and West Center Road. No hidden fees, just transparent pricing. And when you use the promo code THEZONE at checkout, you'll save big at ticketsforless.com. Whether it's sports, concerts, or something else, Tickets for Less has you covered. If you have a question, call today, 402-398-1999. You'll never find better customer service because every seat holds a story. Find yours and use the promo code THEZONE at checkout at ticketsforless.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Lindley Clothing in Omaha has been the premier provider of men's fashion for over 88 years, from suits to jeans, with great brands like Jack Victor, Bugatti, Peter Millar. Your father was a customer. You're a customer. Your son is a customer, and now they're looking for the latest sportswear to tailored clothing. Lindley Clothing has you covered. They will help you get the look that you need with their selection and top-notch customer service. You walk in the door, and there's John and Marlene and the entire Lindley Clothing team with a great smile on their face, and they're to help you. 132nd and West Dodge in Linden Market to pick up the latest styles and enjoy easy access shopping.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Okay, 32-27 Purdue leading Michigan State with a minute left in the first half. And that's your Big Ten update.
Good update.
Josh, what do we got today?
We've got some stories. Many of them are odd. We begin on the diamond from last night.
Oh, the baseball or the softball?
Oh, yes. I apologize.
It's a softball diamond, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Baseball diamond.
South Carolina. The field isn't really shaped like a diamond.
Well, the infield is.
Is it? It's kind of.
I guess it's more of a square.
It's kind of rounded off and.
Yeah. Why do they call it a diamond? Well, second.
It's a diamond.
Second base to home.
Yeah, it's a diamond.
Yeah.
It's a diamond.
Yeah. Okay. South
Aaron
Carolina.
Donald's a Hall of Famer.
South Carolina Gamecocks athletic coaches are having some incredibly entertaining interviews these days. Tuesday night, baseball coach Mark Kingston during an interview with SEC Network, got nailed in the chest with a baseball and barely paused to acknowledge it.
Hell yeah, baseball guy.
Ate a piece of chicken during the break.
I did.
I'm gassed.
Yeah, we got food delivered to us today. It's interesting, by the way, just we're totally flying off here, but it's a St. Patrick's Day themed deal. The corned beef, which was on the plate, not really a featured player on the plate.
No, it is very much a side of corned beef.
A rotation guy, if you will. Anyway,
Tuesday night, just got hit with a baseball and going to be a pro about it and keep going.
Yeah,
he told the SEC Network,
like live when he was doing one of the dugout interviews.
Yeah, one of those dugout interviews. Ping. Well, less of a ping than it used to be, but you can still hear it hit the bat and bam, right off the breast.
We love baseball guys, don't we? I mean, there's only one thing you can do this. Like you can't fall over.
Unless you're Tommy Lasorda, then you can fall over, and
that ball didn't even hit him.
That was a bat that hit him. Remember?
Did it hit him? Did it skip up and hit him?
I don't remember.
I think it came close to hitting him. He was trying to avoid it, and then he lost it.
Hey, that guy that called us during the break, you're a Dodgers fan. Tell us if Tommy Lasorda got hit by a bouncing bat or a flying bat.
He remembers. He remembers. That person will voice to text us. And
absolutely. Yeah. Put me in on it. I like to be included on things. We go to Vegas for story number 2, where have you seen the Sphere, Connor? Have you heard about how great the Sphere is in Vegas?
I want to go in the Sphere in less than 2 weeks.
Are you gonna head a field trip of Zone listeners to see the Sphere?
Yeah, I could be the leader of that group. Sure,
because Nick wants to go too.
Yeah, you hop on the tram and you just it's a little bit of a jaunt from where we'll be staying.
Okay.
But you can get there. You can get there.
Well, if you don't know, the Las Vegas Sphere is a venue in Las Vegas where the entire outside of the building is
a sphere,
an LED screen.
Yes.
That they put things on. It was an eyeball one time. It had the Super Bowl on there. Well, last weekend, a couple of crypto guys raised $650,000 to put now, I'm not familiar with this meme. I'm not as of the internet as many people are.
I got you.
Dog with hat.
Dog with hat meme?
With hat.
With?
WIF hat.
Dog
on the Sphere. It is I believe it's a Sheena Ibu puppy wearing a like a beanie.
So this is like a Dogecoin thing.
Yeah.
Crypto bros.
A couple of crypto bros raised again $650,000, not for charity, but for a bit.
I did not know that this was called Dog with Hat.
I didn't either.
I have seen this dog before. It is the classic Doge, which I don't even know how that started. Obviously, it's just probably dog, with an E, I guess, on the end of it. Cool.
Great.
Does it really cost $650,000 to get your thing on the Sphere though?
Well, they ended up. They said that $650,000 will buy them a week of space on the Sphere.
A week on the Sphere.
That sounds like
okay. So we're talking almost $100,000 a day to get your whatever on the Sphere.
A leaked pitch for the Sphere last October put the price for a full week at $650,000. The package purportedly includes 276 feature appearances and more than 414 minutes of airtime.
So
it must put you in the rotator at that price.
I'm going to give Nick Grimm the oop of his life when I tell him when we hop on that plane on Wednesday to sit on the right side of the plane, because if you sit on the left side of the plane, you will not be able to see the strip and thus the Sphere when you fly in. Most of the time you're coming from that kind of north route and landing on that runway there, but that's the only way I've ever gone into it. Or we could be really mean to Nick and say, Nick, you'll see the Sphere and the strip on the left side and just screw him over.
I think it's a bigger flex to say sit on the right and then be correct.
Yeah.
And like, oh my gosh, how did you know what side we'd be flying in on?
Here's what to
That's
expect.
how much I've been to Vegas, Nick.
Well, I do like Vegas, Josh. I don't know if you've noticed.
This may not shock anyone. The Sphere has declined to comment on why this has happened.
Well, they can put whatever they want up there. It's their Sphere.
I guess. The Sphere owned by James Dolan. Yes, that James Dolan. People forget. It's not immediately clear why Dog with Hat fans suddenly decided that they wanted to do this.
But I wonder what it'll be when we get there.
Right.
I wonder what it, like.
It'll be a basketball.
You think so?
Maybe. I don't know. In a related story,
maybe it'll be Doge with hat.
Bitcoin reached an all-time high of $70,000 last week.
Wow.
Before immediately plummeting.
Shocking.
I thought it already had plummeted. I'm sorry.
Jimmy says on YouTube,
hi, Jimmy.
Many cooler places than Las Vegas out there besides all the drunk and homeless and lights and gambling. Just saying. Oh, I know there's many cooler places than Vegas. I understand.
But it has an allure.
It does
to it.
I like how I feel when I like that version of myself.
Not a lot of stadium swim.
It's not about what Vegas is. It's about what Vegas makes me.
You need to watch like Swingers or something next week.
The Hangover. Yeah. Swingers is a good idea.
Oh, we could. Oh my gosh, I just thought of this. What a great sales opportunity. We could have done like a Vegas movie festival and done like Leaving Las Vegas, Con Air.
Could you do Con Air? It's not really a Vegas movie until the last 5 minutes.
It's all to us in Omaha, Nebraska. It's all Vegas. The California.
No, it's not.
The California desert, the Strip. It's all the same. It's all the same.
I would love to. Josh,
Swingers, The Hangover.
Josh, are you inviting me back on your podcast this week to talk about a Vegas movie?
Do you want to talk about Jim Carrey's 1994? I'm going to record that sometime today or tomorrow. Not sure when. The Mask.
Kind of busy today or tomorrow, okay. But I'm interested in yes.
Maybe jot some thoughts down and I'll read them.
Yeah, I'll cut some time out for you, Josh, for sure.
Wow.
I got you.
What a guy. Finally, we go to Indian Wells, which usually just lands on the news, not the odd news. But today it's on the odd news because they've done something fun, zany.
Now, this is the tennis, right?
This is the tennis, Indian Wells, yes. A bee invasion rocked Indian Wells yesterday, sending defending champion, sorry, tennis bros, nobody knows who plays tennis anymore, Carlos Alcaraz and Alexander Zverev. Nailed it.
Okay.
Pretty confident there. Diving for cover and making a hero of local bee expert Lance Davis. World number 2 Alcaraz was stung on the forehead and forced to retreat into the tunnel by the insects. He and Zverev were just 2 games into their quarterfinal match when play was halted, with chair umpire announcing, ladies and gentlemen, play is suspended due to bee invasion. Alcaraz's agent, Albert Molina, told Spanish radio station during the delay that Alcaraz was stung on the forehead but is fine. It would be almost 2 hours before play resumed, as a local bee expert was needed to remove all the bees in a safe and humane manner. Spectators watched in fascination as he used a special vacuum to remove the mass of bees that had swarmed the remote-controlled spider cam, funneling them into a humane live catch cage. Wow. It is the first time a marquee tennis match has been disrupted by bees.
Speaking of tennis, Josh, I have a...
What a great note.
I have a... I just have come to realize this in the last, few years. Apparently, I have a family member who is or was a, super bigwig on the USTA, He is of tennis.
New York, stand up.
It's not New York.
Oh.
It's not New York. He's of North Carolina.
I'm sorry. I thought this was just a Flushing thing.
Now, I've never met this guy, but he's tennis bigwig.
Really?
His name is Happer. His last name is Happer. Every person that's named Happer, I'm related to.
It's not a fact.
I don't. It might be. I don't know.
Marshall Happer?
Yeah, Marshall. That's his name. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's he's definitely related to me. It might be my uncle or my great uncle or something. The great uncle. I don't know. I don't know what the levels of uncle are, but he's somewhere in there.
So I am of tennis.
Marshall Happer was one of the most influential leaders in professional tennis, serving as COO, and then parentheses, commissioner from 1981 to 1989 for the Men's Tennis Council.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing. An executive with the USTA. That's who runs tennis, right? So, if you ever want to know some stuff about tennis, just let me know.
Connor, you wrote a book in 2022.
I should probably talk to this guy.
Yeah. Hey, you want to? It's 872 pages, Connor.
That's a long book, Josh.
It's about the pioneers of the game, the evolution of men's professional tennis. Wow.
There you go. I'm of tennis.
You really are.
Those are my.
It's in your blood.
Those are my bona fides. Just so you know, don't come up to me talking tennis whack. Because I'll put you in your place right away.
That's right.
All right.
You don't know ball, but it's a smaller ball. And green.
It's a green fuzzy ball. I know green fuzzy ball. All right, quick timeout. Noon hour is coming up. Sipple will join us at the bottom of the hour. We'll get into, whatever it is that you guys are interested in talking about today.
What would we want to ask Stephen M. Sipple this week?
We're up next on 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's cold outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink Nebraska brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
Are you a delivery driver looking for a better job opportunity? Host Coffee is a local family-owned coffee, water, and vending company that has been in business since 1972. We are growing, and we now have openings for delivery drivers and other positions starting at $22 an hour with full benefits. If you're interested, visit hostcoffee.net/careers to connect with us.
Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Lindley Clothing in Omaha has been the premier provider of men's fashion for over 88 years, from suits to jeans, with great brands like Jack Victor, Bugatti, Peter Millar. Your father was a customer. You're a customer. Your son is a customer, and now they're looking for the latest sportswear to tailored clothing. Lindley Clothing has you covered. They will help you get the look that you need with their selection and top-notch customer service. You walk in the door, and there's John and Marlene and the entire Lindley Clothing team with a great smile on their face, and they're to help you. 132nd and West Dodge in Linden Market to pick up the latest styles and enjoy easy access shopping.
Is your concrete cracked or uneven? Hey everyone, Coach Greg McDermott here to explain why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. Many people think they need to replace broken concrete, but repairing it provides durable protection and comes at a fraction of the cost. Everlevel provides permanent repair solutions to fix your concrete and protect it against future damage, and it all comes with a long-term transferable warranty. They offer free inspections to walk you through the entire process. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today.
Need tires but can't get away? Or is your company fleet plagued by unscheduled downtime? Check out Jensen Mobile Express Services at jensentireandauto.com. The easiest way to get new tires delivered and installed at your location. Jensen.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
If you're having problems in the bedroom, talking about it is the last thing you want to do. Same goes for hair loss, anxiety, or even depression. That's where HIMS comes in. Through HIMS, you don't have to talk about it. You can do something about it. Just go to hims.com/start, where you can find a variety of potential solutions for the problems men face every day and save up to 95% on generic alternatives. The entire process is 100% online, making it incredibly simple, straightforward, and above all, private. If prescribed, treatments made using clinically proven ingredients are shipped directly to your door in low-key packaging. So if you're experiencing ED, hair loss, anxiety, or problems with your general health, you don't have to go to the doctor or the pharmacy or spend all day talking about it. Just go to hims.com/start and do something about it. Get started today at hims.com/start. That's HIMS.com/START.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we're all sad, but I thought we'd have some fun today.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine. Nebraska basketball is going to go to the NCAA tournament, and they're going to win a game at the Big Ten tournament in only a mere 8 hours.
They're going to play on Saturday for the first time.
Ever. Think about that.
Level.
And so, I was perusing last night, and yesterday was the day that Trev Alberts, athletic director at Texas A&M. Super weird still. He decided to hop on Twitter last night. Now, before we dive into the replies, which this segment is just going to be about reading replies, I'd like to ask you this question, Josh, and you seemed interested in the idea earlier. Why is Trev tweeting? Now, this doesn't have to be like the Zapruder deal, but like why is Trev tweeting? Is he just, doing his job? Is he genuinely where he, congratulates Dennis LeBlanc on getting the interim job, the job that he left, or thanking various people for his time at Nebraska, or is he trying to rub it in? Or is he enjoying the attention that the tweets are giving him? Because his tweets are going off right now.
I think a couple of things are in play.
Okay, what's going on here, Josh? Yeah, diagnose it for me.
He doesn't know how to clean up the Twitter feed. Doesn't know how
turn
to
off the replies.
Doesn't know how to delete all. Like, how do I get all these Nebraska tweets out of here? So he's got to push them down.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's pretty tech.
Feed.
I think he's all right with that.
Okay.
I think he's relatively tech savvy.
He replied to, and I'm sorry, I don't have her name in front of me.
He is a bit of an old. He's an old man. So, he puts on the readers.
He replied to the assistant in the department.
Yeah, Lindsay.
And that sort of set off a bit of a firestorm. So I imagine he's like, okay, I got to push that down the feed a little bit so nobody sees. And part of the job is, I have to embrace my new home. People are excited. They're talking about me.
Yeah, we're going to go aside from that part. Aside from all the Texas A&M retweets and stuff. There was a bridge to that last night. But just going to kind of what we saw here, is this the way it's going to be for the rest of time? Anytime this guy tweets, you're just going to be like, basically bleep you.
Yeah, I kind of think so.
All right.
I think the way it went down.
We're going to Nebraska ball losing tweet graphic meme him to death.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know, but that's what's going to happen.
It's definitely happening. So here we go. Here's the responses. Yesterday, Trev Alberts, a person, but a man. He responded to Nebraska's tweet about promoting or giving the tag to Dennis LeBlanc as the interim athletic director. He said, "Congratulations, Dennis. This is the right move." Here's some responses.
Not your concern anymore. Move on.
They are correct.
Trev getting ratioed in his first official X post as the new Texas A&M AD. Great start, my man. Fist bump. The bleeping balls to hit send.
Where's the first
Hey Trevor, shut up. The Rock, GIF.
Where's the first
traitor
Aggie fan in there?
I don't know. I'm trying to find one single response that was like, "Thanks for your time here, Trev. We appreciate it." Read the room, Trevor. Dude, just leave. Their fans don't want you, and neither do we anymore. I don't even know who he's talking about. I don't even know who he's rooting for in that situation.
Oh, I can't read that one on the air.
You could have went down as the best AD in Husker history, but you left for the Live Tour equivalent. Okay, that's pretty funny.
I found one.
Okay, go ahead.
This is from Kirk's Evil Twin.
Thank you, Kirk's Evil Twin.
It appears to be an Iowa-centric Twitter account. Surely the nicest fan base in college sports will be nice in the replies.
That's as good as it gets.
So far, yes.
Change happens in every walk of life, but Trev, the door is now shut for any type of return to Nebraska. Kind of rich coming from you, my man, talking about what a right move is. If circumstances were so bad for you at Nebraska, then why sign a new deal only a few months ago? Perception is not your friend at the moment. It appears like you were mad at someone and decided to take your ball and go home. I think you owe it to fans to stand up straight and explain why you left. You talk often about doing things the right way, even when the path forward is uncomfortable and hard. Now is your chance to show us what that means and show us your character. That had a lot of words in it.
It did. I'm going to read one from Anthony. Now,
okay.
I'm going to take Anthony at face value that this actually happened. Anthony's never lied to me before. I met you at a gas station 2 or so months ago. You were humble and kind and wholehearted about Nebraska. You betrayed that heart. You betrayed your home. You betrayed us fans. That betrayal means you keep Nebraska out of your mouth forever. Peace.
Grown men were coming up to me with tears in their eyes. Here's a fan of another program, or maybe just an anti-Nebraska person. Trev, no matter what, just know that Husker Nation will crumble without you. Thank you. Thank you for leaving.
Saucy Nug. We've read some tweets from Saucy Nug before.
We interact with Saucy Nug. There's good memes, GIFs in here.
He did that to point out he had changed his X handle.
Move on, loser. Hey, pal, hit the road. And I like the pal. That's really hits home for me. Who would have thought that you and @coach_Frost would be the most despised and hated men in NU football history?
This is a screenshot from VeggieTales. And the caption reads, this is a caption on the photo, not like typed out anything. Sometimes it's not our turn to talk.
Well, that's just on the one that was congratulations. I mean, poor Dennis LeBlanc. I mean, and then he fist bumped Johnny Manziel virtually last night. People didn't like that. And then in response to the Johnny Manziel tweet that was supportive of Trev Alberts to be hired as athletic director at Texas A&M, Will Compton followed up and he said, Trev, is a stud. And then Trev said, bring the bus down, Will, ? And that's when things really took off in a bad direction last night.
Yeah. Will.
Sociopath was the first response that I see.
Please.
Block him, Will.
No, Will is on board with this. He has said, if I get the hospitality at Nebraska that I did last time, I will bring the bus down to College Station.
There's one. You really getting off on this, huh? Someone said. So yeah, there's some reaction here.
A lot of The Rock gifts.
Yep.
Who also recently became a villain.
What did he do?
He joined the Bloodline, Connor.
What's that mean?
Him and his family, his actual Samoan family, Roman Reigns and The Rock.
And that makes him bad?
Bad guys. Well, yeah, he slapped Cody Rhodes.
I didn't know that to become a heel in wrestling, you actually had to say, I'm a heel.
Well, you generally have to do something.
You have to do something, but is that actually... Yeah, I don't know.
What a great take, Connor. Why is joining your family make you a villain? Interesting. Maybe The Rock was right all along.
Wow. I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. So I have to be very careful with this.
Yeah, got to be careful here.
Here's an email from the Equitable Bank inbox. Will this be like a Dana Altman Woo Pig Suey moment? And then when Travis is introduced at the news conference, they'll make him squeal Aggie and he'll change his mind.
I don't think he can come back at this point.
We may have burned the bridge, Josh.
Feels like it.
We may have burned the bridge.
Publicly and privately.
On Trev, he caught up with Sam McEwen on the way out yesterday. Well, hopefully nice the door didn't hit him on the way out. And here are the following quotes. Albert said he didn't have a job offer when reports Wednesday morning announced that he was primed to accept the job in College Station. Quote, from Trev, we had a conversation verbally, but there was nothing concrete for them. So for hours, a speculation grew on whether Alberts would stay. He asked himself the same question. He vacillated between remaining in Nebraska or leaving for the SEC school. Quote, my heart was one way, but my head would step in. Alberts said, it wasn't easy. But by late afternoon, quote, my head won out, Alberts said, and then he crafted an email to staff announcing his departure and apologizing for the timing. But why, of course, is the next question. Imagine Sam calling Trev and just asking the same exact question we would all do.
Why, Trev?
Why? Just, can you give me a little rundown here? Why? Alberts pointed to A&M University President Mark A. Welch, a retired general, military background.
He loves military backgrounds.
Who made a strong pitch last weekend. Quote, these are hard jobs. They're even harder now than they've ever been. And leadership is just really critical. Maybe not to everyone, but it really is to me. So General Welch sold me on a really compelling vision. It's compelling, and he's a compelling person. That was the reason. Everybody's looking for some crazy reason, but you don't have to run to do that. It's a unique opportunity at a great school with defined leadership. Asked about Nebraska's ongoing presidential search, Alberts declined to be more specific. Quote, I'm not going to say anything bad about my alma mater.
Maybe a little late for that, but please proceed.
I mean, that seems kind of bad. It's like, look, I'm not going to say anything bad.
It's the only thing I can say.
I love Nebraska, but I think this is the quote that obviously people are going with today. And really, just listen in. The end is what really kills me.
Okay.
He says, I'm not going to say anything bad about my alma mater. I love Nebraska, but I think it's fairly obvious there are some challenges. I think the layperson can probably figure that out. I think some of the challenges are reflective of where we are as a society as far as divisive things that are a part of our everyday culture. It is what it is. Oh. End quote. It is what it is, Josh.
It was
when do you usually say it is what it is?
When everyone is guessing correctly what's happening.
It is what it is. Like, when I say it is what it is, something really bad has happened, and I can't really explain it. I just like to say it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Creighton lost last night to Providence, and I don't know. I don't know why. Like, maybe it's really, long term, maybe it's really bad for them. But guess what, Josh? It is what it is. It is what it is. They lost. Probably usually used in different times than that. Even.
Is everything fine, or is it what it is?
It is what it is.
I think the line before that is a bigger clue.
Yeah, why don't we spend a little bit of time on that one? So I got a bunch of texts last night when the screenshot was going around. The line of, I think there are some fairly obvious challenges. I think it's fairly obvious there are some challenges, he said. And I got some texts last night that basically read, so what's so fairly obvious about the challenges? I mean, Trev's telling you what he thinks.
The sheer act of naming a president seems difficult.
Yeah. And then he talks about things that happen in society.
About divisive issues.
And I think the tough part to swallow, I think, for people has been like, all right, if he's moving on to Texas A&M, and it's not like the political climate in that state is vastly different.
Right.
So I go back to his comments about leadership, and I go back to his comments about what the president there, sold him, General Welsh. Not an admiral, by the way. But thank you for your service. What? Josh, you have to laugh at that. Otherwise, I'd look horrible. Thank you. Jeez. And
couldn't have made admiral, huh?
Maybe it could have been just that. Like we talked about it with BC before. And I'm not trying to I'm not trying to say that it's okay or that you should forgive him or that whatever it is. I think it's really understandable to be mad. Obviously, it's tough because his fan base is super rabid and it looks bad. But there's only so much that you can control in a moment like this. And so I don't think I'm not on air today being like, hey, you guys got to just let it go. Like this one, that it stings really bad because you still can't quite understand it and you still can't quite explain it. And I don't know that Trev, and I think if you talk to him 3, 4, 5 years down the line, he'll probably be like, yeah, I don't know. I maybe could have handled that better. Much like he said at UNO. So, yeah, it's a tough one. And I understand the anger. I do. I mean, I really didn't until at least I wasn't there. I don't share that type of intense anger that you guys do at the moment.
Yeah, I don't have the vitriol, but I'm okay if you do.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to take his name off of anything in Lincoln, but
no, right.
If you want to say that, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean there's some definite over the top inflammatory stuff being said at the moment, but I don't know, that kind of gets said in the heat of the moment and hopefully that it can all calm down within the next few days, months, weeks, whatever it might be. By the way, people have pointed this out as of this morning. He's
got some problems first day on the job. Does Trev?
College football staffer Blaze Taylor, a former player at Arkansas State, and an assistant or a staffer at Texas A&M, is currently has been arrested for 2 counts of first-degree murder.
2 counts.
Yeah.
Murder.
Yeah. It's not good. Not good.
But
what?
They will name a replacement very quickly. It will not take 200 some days.
A lot of memes out there, man. A lot of stuff going on. Today the Ides of March as well.
Beware of people stabbing you in the back.
Interesting. Joel writes in.
Hi, Joel.
He says, what does it say that a guy has a trail of wishing he could have handled it better from the Colts to ESPN to UNO to UNL?
Might get fed up and act a little knee-jerk. Seems to be a pattern.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know. We tried to kind of explain it yesterday. Maybe it's just a situation where he has his sights set on something bigger and grander for the rest of his career and felt like this wasn't going to be a place where he could accomplish that, and that Texas A&M was. And that's just where it landed for him. But yeah, it seems awfully quick. I think I see a lot of Nebraskans today saying, hey, look, man, this is what we do, and this is what you've preached. We got to stick in there and we got to fight. This is what you do. Maybe he had fought that fight since his first day here.
Sometimes you get tired of fighting.
Sometimes you get tired of fighting.
I don't I don't see less fights at Texas A&M, but
I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't speak to that. I could not speak to that because this guy, the president they have now is newly in charge, and like maybe they have the same symmetry right now that we thought we did 3 years ago or 2 years ago, or when they hired Matt Rule, when that picture was taken with Ted Carter and Ronnie Green and Trev Alberts and Matt Rule. Like maybe they think they have that right now. Maybe he's the perfect guy for that. We felt like he was the perfect guy at that time for here. So I don't know. Maybe they feel like they have that right now. All right, quickly to the phones because Sipple's coming up on the other side. Here's Kurt on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Hey, Kurt, what's up?
Yeah, just had a quick question. What was Trev's buyout? I heard $4 million, but could you guys talk about that a bit?
Yeah, Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Kurt. Succinct. So $4.1 million to be paid to Nebraska. When coaches leave or when coaches get fired, the school owes them. When coaches, ADs leave, they owe that money to be paid out to the rest of his contract since he just signed that extension. But obviously it would get paid by the school. Texas A&M,
Yes.
the incoming school.
Yeah.
To
Going to say, hey,
So,
don't worry about that.
It's
They
taken
got
care
you.
of.
Worked in there.
It's done. They got I'm sure they got it wired to them today. We are monitoring a situation at the Big Ten basketball tournament right now.
Situation?
Yeah. Are you looking what I'm looking at?
I'm looking at a Smith down on the ground.
Yeah, that would be Braden Smith.
Looks like he's
a very, very important player for the Purdue Boilermakers who's
holding his knee.
Very much struggling getting up.
Boy, they went to break right before we could see if he could put any weight on that knee.
Yeah. Yep. That did not look good.
Purdue only up 7, I believe, as they went to break there.
I think it's 48-41. So a lot going on there.
Braden Smith takes a hard fall off the floor as he's bumped out of bounds on a travel call being attended to by Purdue training staff. Now back up, being helped slowly off the floor to the locker room. Not ideal for Purdue, says
definitely not
Zach Osterman.
Definitely not ideal. No. One more from Sicilian Stiletto before we take a break here.
Hi, SS.
Poll question/questions. Do we need to have a new listener's guide and tutorial for those just tuning in since the Trev surprise, or should we have a baseline minimum comprehension requirement? First up, do you know sarcasm when you hear it? Hashtag not a Hall of Famer.
I think more shows should have a section on their website. Like, okay,
here's what to expect.
Here's a couple of the inside jokes. Here's like a 101 level on what our show is and what we do.
Yeah, if you hear randomly during unsportsmanlike conduct, people go, that's not random. That's what happens when they talk about old people.
Make fun of olds.
Yeah. Specifically the Equitable Bank inbox. All right, Sipple's up next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers, offers exterior solutions that help you protect your number one investment. Whether it's roofing and siding or windows and doors, they're committed to excellence, quality, and outstanding customer service in every step of the process. When it's time to protect the exterior of your home, your choice is simple. Turn to who the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Check them out online and schedule a free estimate today. J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
Where to watch college basketball just got easier. 72 Table and Tap is offering $2 Coors drafts with a purchase of a Coors Cup. Paired with one of the biggest TVs in Ralston is a slam dunk. 72 Table and Tap is just south of Ralston Arena, so stop in before the concert or come watch the tournament. Indulge in some smoked wings, a goldfish breaded pork tenderloin, tasty bar food, pizzas, and sandwiches. There's a reason customers keep coming back. 72 Table and Tap. Eat, drink, gather, and repeat.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile. And the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time. There's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet, the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day my life is going to be part of a musical.
However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be the villain.
Listen to Ridiculous History wherever you get your podcasts.
The college basketball championship is fast approaching, and 1620 The Zone has your chance to win a local 1620 The Watch Party at Backlot Tap House in Exarban for you and your crew. Come on! Plus, we're taking 1620 The Watch Party to Las Vegas. One grand prize winner will score a flyaway to Las Vegas to stay at the Circa Resort and Casino. Join in on the madness. Don't miss your shot to enter to win now at 1620thezone.com. Powered by Circa Resort and Casino and Backlot Tap House.
Email us on the Equitable inbox with whatever is on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You could hit me up, agree, disagree, tell me your thoughts on life at Hanley at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I like the people yesterday who were rethinking their entire existence. Because
you like that?
I guess I should change the words on that. I saw yesterday that there were some people who were rethinking their entire existence, including but not limited to, was Trev Alberts ever good in the first place?
Okay, what are we doing here, people?
Did you see any of that stuff?
No. I tend to close my phone before I get to those places.
So there was the stadium, which the stadium project, maybe RIP here. We'll see. At the very least,
feels like we're going to at least put it in an iron lung for a few years.
Yeah, at the very least on the back burner. And I think it was a tweet initially to Josh and Jimmy's show in the afternoon. And
wow, it's Jimmy's show now. Okay.
Well, Josh and Jimmy were on the show.
Okay.
Oh, there was almost a fight there in that Michigan State Purdue game.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's getting hot over there. January, February, Izzo. Anyway, and basically the premise of it was this stadium idea was far-fetched in the first place. We're stressing our donor base and like it's a vanity project and all these different things. And I know how I talked about it at the time because Josh resurfaced my tweet yesterday of like, this is Trev's legacy. It was. I didn't get the sense that it was a vanity project. I didn't get the sense that it was like he wants to do this because he wants to put his stamp on things. Like I always felt like and thought that Trev Alberts had Nebraska's best interests in mind. I still believe that. I still believe that. So I'm not going back today and like, was this guy ever good in the first place? By the way, my answer to that question is still yes, absolutely.
I feel a lot lockstep with Josh on this, where
where's John Peterson?
Yeah,
Okay.
where donor fatigue is real, but that stadium is dump adjacent, where
specifically the South Stadium.
It needs a modernization, and
it's a big project though. I'll play devil's advocate. It's a big project coming off of a big project, which already was tough for the donor base to get to whatever it ended up being. I think $165 million for the practice facility, which they're still not completely done with and moved into yet.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a thing that's still kind of hanging out there. All right, on to the next thing. Here's our plans to do this, and it's not just donors, but it's also, there was a private public component to it, and that has to go through the proper channels, and that takes a lot as well. And all these studies and feasibility and stuff like that Trev had kind of done the legwork on, but obviously was still going to need a bunch of people to step up and help rebuild that area and displace people in the stands for a period of time, probably 2 or 3 years at least, while they completely tear down and rebuild in South Stadium. It would have been a stressful time. It would have been a stressful time.
I will give him credit for having the foresight to say,
he's a dreamer.
If Matt Rule's the guy and this thing takes off, we need this to be as profitable as possible. We can't wait until they're a 10-win team and take a quarter, quote unquote. I know it's not a quarter, but take South Stadium away and deal with that while this team is winning 10, hopefully even more games this season.
I'm totally with you.
We need to do it now.
I'm totally with you on the timing of the entire thing.
Maybe Trev's bad at timing.
I think they were setting. I think that was good. I think they were setting up to have it all kind of deployed at basically the same time. It's like, hey, we're taking off on the football field. We got this brand new stadium. We're way out in front of people on NIL. Maybe by that point they are, paying players from within, and they're prepared for that, right? Like, we have done all these organizational pieces, hit all these bullet points before it needs to be done in order for us to be prepared when we get there. But I think you mentioned something I commented on in the beginning. He's a dreamer, man. Like, and I said it yesterday. And I think he likes to, and he likes to have his way. And he likes to have his way. And so I think they found a lot of landmines along the way and a lot of hurdles that were going to have to be jumped over. Maybe it was with the stadium, maybe it was with various other things. And, just felt like I could go somewhere else, dream it, start to implement it, and then maybe something else pops up again. Like, maybe this is, so Joel did the tweet earlier about how, like, he has this history of bad timing when he leaves. But the congruent history of maybe not seeing things through all the way to the end. And he's done a lot of different things in his very short, altogether, he's only 53 years old, or 52 or 53, whatever it is. He's done a lot of jobs for that period of time. And I think he has big picture thoughts about how things should go, and is really good at starting and like growing the seeds for it. Right. That's why ultimately I think his time here is good, is successful because of that. He laid the seeds, he laid the plan out, right?
Was the infrastructure maybe not in place to say, hey, why don't we pump the brakes on this for a couple minutes here? Let's take a beat. Trev, great idea. Let's file it away. We'll pull it out very, very soon, but now's not the time.
I mean, there is no leader the last few months to tell him that.
Last 200 some days and counting.
That's for sure. So,
but apparently that's a normal timeline. Same timeline as last time.
Yeah, I read the story that Aaron Sanderford wrote last night. But Joel tweets and he says, read this article. At the very least, Trev was pushing forward without getting consensus and support in order. ultimately the regents relented, but their concerns are valid. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're not.
Oh yeah,
I'm not saying that they're not.
Donor fatigue's real, but
and moving forward hastily with things is real too. I mean, I will admit the timing between not finishing the football facility project basically and then getting started congruently on the South Stadium project and the rest of the entire deal, like that always seemed odd to me. That always seemed odd to me. It happened really fast, back to back. And not even back to back, they overlapped, right? Not that I didn't think they could do it, not that I didn't think they can get it done, but it did seem fast, right? So I think he liked to, move fast on those deals. And maybe because he did so, like a lot of that pre-work, a lot of that prep work, and the seeds that were laid or whatever that I mentioned earlier, those are still there right now. And maybe he's put Nebraska in position to have success. But you still have to capitalize off of it. Can't have a complete change of direction right now. And that's the other part of why it's a little bit difficult. Braden Smith, by the way, for Purdue, has checked back into the game.
That's
so
right.
He is not dead.
Appears that it looked worse than it was.
Yes, he's alive. All right, we'll come back. Still plenty to discuss, including Nebraska basketball's game tonight. We can still touch a little bit on Creighton, who is now on their way back home from the Big East tournament. They'll take today, tomorrow off before Selection Sunday on Sunday. Quick timeout. More up next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Roughly 11,000 players in college football, so they're getting $600 a piece. If you do the math, that's $6.6 million that they're paying out in NIL deals. No one has negotiated this $6.6 million figure on behalf of any player. This was a number that they set.
Yeah, and I'd be very interested to know how they came to that number, right?
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Plenty of sunshine and mild temperatures for your Friday, with the high today in Omaha of 57 degrees with northerly winds up to 15 miles an hour. Staying clear and cool tonight with a low of 38. Winds a bit breezy early, west-northwesterly, also up to 15 miles an hour. Mostly sunny, breezy, and mild as we start the weekend with a high of 59 on Saturday. Gusts up to 30 miles an hour with very high fire danger. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620, The Zone.
Meet Tom. He's a good guy. The kind of guy you invite over to watch a football game or call when you need a jump start. Between work and family, Tom's got a lot on his plate. But when he found out that saving lives is as easy as checking a box, he signed up to be an organ donor. Because good guys save lives. Get the facts on how you could someday save 8 lives and see how easy it is to register at goodguysavelives.com.
Car repair is car repair. Most places you go can change your oil or fix your brakes. The difference is the experience you'll get at Omaha Car Care. We're part of the community. We were born here, and we believe that our relationship with you should be built to last. We're going to consult you, not sell you. We're going to give you a free loaner car. We're going to treat you like a valued friend that we want to continue to see in the years to come. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
You can find pizza anywhere, but when you want pizza pie piled high with more toppings, that's when you come to my place, Godfather's Pizza. For a limited time, get your hands on 2 of my large one-topping pizzas. Pick pepperoni, beef, black olives, you choose. All this food for only $30. Feed your whole mob without breaking the bank. Hey, it's an offer you can't refuse. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Shop Woodhouse Hyundai during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event going on right now. With the most versatile lineup of sedans and SUVs, like the Hyundai Elantra or Santa Fe. Plus, your choice of standard engines, plug-in hybrid, or fully electric vehicles. Right now, lease the 2024 Hyundai Kona SE for $199 per month for 24 months and 12,000 miles per year. And when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Shopper Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Start your deal online at woodhousehyundai.com today. Browse our inventory, personalize your payments, apply for financing, and more. Convenience delivered every time. This is Woodhouse Hyundai. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. First payment $3,999 down plus $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires April 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Planning something fun for your office, family, or friends? Joe's Karting is for you. Take a break. Come to Joe's to race, relax, and recharge. Great for team building. Ditch the speaker and burn some rubber. Trust us, Joe says you'll leave motivated. Joe's Karting race packages range from providing simple stress relief races to the real deal race experience. Check us out at joeskarting.com. Remember, go to Joe's, your place to race.
Spring is in sight. Looking to wake up your yard this season? Make your neighbors green with envy with Lanahaw's wide selection of landscape supplies and homegrown plant material. Get a head start today. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
If you're unhappy with your job or employer and you've hit a dead end, it's time to start your new career as a delivery driver with Host Coffee. Our local family-owned business is growing, and we now have openings for delivery drivers and other positions starting at $22 an hour with full benefits. If you're interested, visit hostcoffee.net/careers to connect with us.
Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Hey, so they just showed the clip coming back for the Big Ten game here of the
Purdue up 7, by the way.
The full court putt. Yeah, Purdue's up by 7 with 7 minutes left. The full court putt, right? So they put a small hole at the other baseline, and you got to putt it from the other baseline. This is on a hardwood floor, mind you. It's very difficult to make. And it was this epic deal where the guy like barely got it there, and then it just trickled in. It was like Tiger at the Masters that one time with the Nike ball.
Uh-huh.
It was like that. I mean, it was totally epic. And then, they showed a celebration a little bit, and then they showed him standing there with the big check of course, one of the sponsors from Old National Bank of the Big Ten. How much money do you think he gave him for that putt?
$5,000.
$5,000, $10,000. Maybe you offer up, you say $100,000 because it's so difficult to do. And this is the big, they gave him $1,834.
A weird number.
I don't know why, but he was standing there they could have just given him cash.
Yeah.
Give him $100 bills to go home. Go buy beers for everybody at the bar. That's all it's going to get you. That would pay for his trip this weekend. And that's it.
What did the check cost?
The Big Ten is cheap.
That's why Trev left.
Great call, Josh.
I got to get to the SEC.
Great call. How much do you think they give him for a super full court putt in the SEC? Not $1,834, that's for sure.
$10,000 and a lifetime supply of Chick-fil-A.
I was going to say I'd rather take the lifetime supply of Old Trapper beef jerky from the Big Ten, if that was an option. $1,800. It'll last me 10 seconds in Minneapolis.
You need to give me a fountain of St. Elmo's cocktail sauce, even though I understand they're in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I mean, it's still Big Ten.
It is.
It's still a Big Ten after all. But there's a real ripoff over there. So we're keeping an eye on Purdue and Michigan State. Purdue still up by 7 with 6 minutes to go.
7.
It appears, Josh, that we have a 14-team playoff before we even have a 12-team playoff.
Good. I was tired of that busted-ass 12-team playoff.
Yes. Super garbage. And, of course, it had lasted so long.
It just doesn't work,
It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
We've seen it time and time again. 12-team playoff doesn't work.
Now, as this was mentioned yesterday, as this deal is being finalized right now, what we do know is some financial figures that we'll get to here in a second.
The NFL famously had a 12-team playoff, expanded it to 14.
But this will only set the stage for an expected 14-team playoff, which they're going to do, by the way. But the format technically will be decided at a later date. But that's where we're going.
Because today's the deadline to vote on a 14-team playoff for some reason.
I don't know why. I don't know where they make these deadlines for themselves. Starting in 2026, the new agreement will codify the further financial separation of the expanded Big Ten and SEC from everyone else in college athletics. That's why we did this, by the way. The group of 5 commissioners have been in a difficult position without any negotiating power, but sources indicate they won't choose being excluded from the CFP. Quote, this is a great quote from a group of 5 AD who said, quote, "It's like the Godfather's offer you can't refuse." End quote.
You got to take their scraps because the scraps are better than them sending you to the children's table.
The financial distribution for the expected 14-team playoff will look radically different from that of its playoff predecessor. On an annual basis, for example, the Big Ten and the SEC will be making more than $21 million per school. That's up from the nearly $5.5 million each of the Power 5 schools currently make. That's right. The Big Ten and the SEC found a way to quadruple their payout from the college football playoff.
From the 4-team.
From the 4-team, correct.
Okay.
Yes, from the 4-team.
Okay.
And the first 2 years of the 12.
Yeah, I assume it's larger, but wow.
In the ACC, schools will get more than $13 million annually, which isn't scraps. They increase their payment as well. And the Big 12 will get more than $12 million per school. Notre Dame will get more than $12 million as well. And sources tell ESPN that there will be a financial incentive for any independent team that reaches the college football playoff. There will no longer be a participation bonus for any of the other leagues, a detail that was frustrating to some of the leaders in the group of 5. Once again, the group of 5 is just going to get paid out. It doesn't matter if Boise State makes it. They don't get more. They just get their money and they like it, and then they go home.
Okay.
Very normal, very cool. The group of 5 schools will see their share increase. You'll never guess, Josh. This is great. So once again,
repeat the question.
The Big Ten and the SEC, their revenue share is going up 4 times over.
Mm-hmm.
The ACC and the Big 12 and Notre Dame sees their share double.
Okay. That makes sense.
At least. The group of 5 schools, the AAC, Conference USA, MAC, Mountain West, and Sun Belt, will see their revenue increase from $1.5 million, which is what they were currently at.
Okay.
$1.5 million per school to $1.8 million.
Hell yeah, nailed it. And yeah, you got to take it.
Like, that sucks. I feel so bad. I feel like I want to cry for them. I'm so sad.
1.8 to be distributed across all group of 5 schools?
No, per.
Okay.
Yeah, per.
That's better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sources caution, though, that the numbers are tricky to compare as there's uncertainty about the fine points of expenses and distribution in the next iteration. But in the general ballpark, those will be the annual distributions. Good job, guys. Big Ten SEC, you got exactly what you wanted.
I mean,
congratulations. You made the poor schools poorer and the rich schools richer. Nice job. Very good. Impressive.
What a gold mine this tournament is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, hey, if there was any doubt about why they want to do this, look at how much it went up.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that each of the Big Ten and the SEC schools making $5.5 million from the payout of the previous iteration of the college football playoff, and now they're making more than 20. And that wasn't that, because we don't have an example of this. All they've done is done the math for what it will look like based on viewership numbers of the college and they just times it by 4. That's why. And they did that, and they still kept the group of 5 the same. These guys are geniuses. I mean, absolute freak negotiators. Incredible job by them. Sources told ESPN that the agreement also includes ironclad protections for the Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, ACC champions as the highest ranked group of 5 champion, along with a series of access protections for Notre Dame. The CFP will unveil their 12-team format for the next 2 years. The details of what's expected to be a 14-team field won't be determined until after the TV deal is done. The format of how that field will shape up is still to be determined. The format for the next 2 years will be 5 AQs five AQs from the 5 highest ranked conference champions and then 7 at large. And they're still figuring out the format for the 14-team playoff. But they did get the revenue part of it done.
That's the important part.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care how this shakes out, just how the payments shake out.
Normal. Good stuff. We'll come back. 1 o'clock hour. Up on 1620 The Zone.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
When it comes to concrete repair, Everlevel has some serious game. Coach Greg McDermott here to coach you on why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. They've got the fundamentals to fix your cracked and uneven concrete, and their products will give you the best defense against future damage. It's a fraction of the price compared to replacement, and their solutions come with a long-term transferable warranty. Working with Everlevel is a slam dunk. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today for your free inspection.
Get more with Murphy Tractor. Each of our 29 locations offers new, used, and rental John Deere construction equipment, an extensive parts inventory, as well as other complimentary products. We also have a full team of Capstone certified technicians with field service capabilities. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Lula Bee's Breakfast, Brunch, and Bar is downtown Omaha's go-to spot for great food with a Mexican flair. Lula Bee's has everything from French toast and omelets to shrimp tacos and burgers. There's even a full bar with uniquely inspired spring fling cocktails. Want to have a party? Lula Bee's has a party room that seats up to 65 of your favorite people with custom catering available. Book for graduation parties, family events, bridal celebrations, or just brunch with all your friends. Lula Bee's, 9th and Dodge, or at lulabeesomaha.com.
Creighton Sports Update.
Spring is in full swing on Creighton's campus. The baseball team hosts San Francisco tomorrow and Sunday to close out their weekend series at Charles Schwab Field, Omaha. Men's tennis is home against Nebraska Westland tomorrow at 11 a.m. Closing things out is softball on Sunday with a doubleheader against North Dakota beginning at noon. For more information, visit gocreighton.com. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
College basketball's biggest tournament is coming, and it's time to start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa. It's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight moneyline splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Fund and bet like a pro anywhere, anytime. It's never been easier. Download your new bookie before all of the March action at circasports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
It's mulch better at Lanahaw. Planning to wake up your tired yard for spring? Make your landscape the envy of the neighborhood with mulch from Lanahaw's Garden Center, where quality is always a priority. Convenient pickup or delivery available. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Welcome back. 1 o'clock hour, the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. I have in front of me a press release from the University of Michigan.
Sports Flash.
Is it about Connor Stallions? No. Is Jim Harbaugh coming back? Did he do a reverse whoop pig suey? No.
That'd be great.
I'm going to read it exactly what it says. Word manual. The University of Michigan's Donald R. Shepard, Director of Athletics, announced Friday, March 15th, that a leadership change would be made in men's basketball. With David and Meredith Kaplan, head coach Juwan Howard not returning next season.
Everything's sponsored.
Everything's endowed.
Okay.
Yes. But it makes it really weird for David and Meredith Kaplan. I bet they didn't probably pay for their name getting involved in the firing press release.
Oh, we never thought this would be anything bad we'd be sponsoring.
Yeah. Now, when they get their new head coach, they'll be like, it's the David and Meredith Kaplan new head coach. John Beeline again.
Oh.
Yeah, just going back to John Beeline.
104 years old.
Give me a Michigan hot board, folks.
Yeah, what's
Juwan Howard fired.
That reminds me, Michigan State basketball, powered by Rocket Mortgage, is trailing by 2 points to the unsponsored Purdue basketball team.
How do we know they're not sponsored?
I don't. I would have heard about it because it'd be hilarious, like Michigan State.
I did forget about that Rocket Mortgage thing, though. Hey, look, Kevin Kugler just got ran into by. I gave him a nice smile. Oh, that was nice. That was a great moment. We could have a tie game. We do. Ward Manuel says, after a comprehensive review of the program, I've decided that Juwan will not return. I bet it was real comprehensive. Juwan is among the greatest Wolverines to ever be associated with our basketball program. I know how much it meant not only to Juwan, but to all of us for him to return here to lead this program, despite his love of his alma mater, the positive experience that our student athletes had under his leadership, except for that weight training guy. It was clear to me that the program is not living up to our expectations and not trending in the right direction. I'm thankful for Juwan's dedication, passion, and commitment to UM and for all that he and his legacy will continue to mean to Michigan. It's almost better. So you have this legendary dude, and, stop me if you hear something that sounds familiar. So you have this kind of legendary dude, right? And then you make him the head coach, and it's going okay. It's going relatively well. It's much better
Never
if that
went well here.
It's it went okay for a minute. Okay, at that point is worth debating probably, but it's better that they just make it a cut and dry deal.
Absolutely.
Very cut and dry. Because nobody can come back and be like, well, how could you treat him this way? He's so how could you treat an alum this way? And then you could negatively recruit against that and be like, look at how they treated Juwan Howard. Of all people, Juwan Howard. They fired him after such a short fuse, after having success and doing this and this and this and this, and all they had to do was go 500 this year for them to fire him. Unfortunately, Juwan Howard did not go 500 this year. I believe they went 8-24 or somewhere along that line.
Close.
What was it?
No, they're close. Michigan basketball is close. Yeah, 8-24.
I nailed it. I was going to say, really?
3-17 in conference, lost 9 in a row to end the season.
Not good. Got bludgeoned twice by Nebraska.
Nebraska, very good team, though.
Nebraska's good, though, so there's really no shame in that.
Exactly.
A national search will begin immediately for Michigan. Send me your Michigan hot board. Somebody call Bigelow. Where is he? Because it is an open job out at Michigan. Do they just go back to John Beeline? He's just doing TV. He got fired from the Cavs.
You can't.
It's a great Friday news dump, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I've received a text from Sipple that says he's available. So would you want to make this decision on air? Should we call him or should we just say, we're fine?
I kind of we don't have time for it, but I kind of really do want his thoughts on the Trev Alberts situation this week.
Probably should get that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call him. That will be up on the other side in the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But FanDuel's putting the ball in your court for the rest of the NBA season. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any $5 winning bet. $200 if your bet wins. So you can bet on anything on the FanDuel Sportsbook, especially in the NBA. Quick bets, live same-game parlays, player props, spreads, money lines. Cook yourself up a nice same-game parlay on TNT Thursdays, whatever it takes. There's so many options for you in the last couple weeks here of the NBA regular season. Once again, just win one $5 bet. That's all it's going to take for you to get $200 in bonus bets. Head to FanDuel.com/Happer, and you can make that happen for you today. Make your first bet a layup with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 and over, Present in Iowa, first online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets. That expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Are you a delivery driver looking for a better job opportunity? Host Coffee is a local family-owned coffee, water, and vending company that has been in business since 1972. We are growing, and we now have openings for delivery drivers and other positions starting at $22 an hour with full benefits. If you're interested, visit hostcoffee.net/careers to connect with us.
Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
I feel good.
Dad, are you singing to your cereal?
Yes, I am, like I knew that I would.
No, a dance too?
Come on, Ava. Silk almond milk starts the morning on a high note. Yow!
Songs, dances, and dad jokes.
So good. So good. I got you.
Silk almond milk.
With calcium, vitamins A, D, and E.
Feel plenty good.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
to go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
Got the happy hour blues? Get to Kopp's for happy hour relief with 2 happy hours from 3 to 6 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. till close Sunday through Friday. Kopp's serves 24-ounce domestic drafts for just $3 and 24-ounce craft drafts for only $4, plus $2 off appetizers. The restaurant that offers great pizza, burgers, and tasty charred wings now offers 2 great happy hours. Visit Kopp's today at 180th and Center, the Shadow Lake Town Center, and 72nd and Jones, or click CoppsPizza.com. Kopp's, pizza, and so much more.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
If you're having problems in the bedroom, talking about it is the last thing you want to do. Same goes for hair loss, anxiety, or even depression. That's where HIMS comes in. Through HIMS, you don't have to talk about it. You can do something about it. Just go to hims.com/start, where you can find a variety of potential solutions for the problems men face every day, and save up to 95% on generic alternatives. The entire process is 100% online, making it incredibly simple, straightforward, and above all, private. If prescribed, treatments made using clinically proven ingredients are shipped directly to your door in low-key packaging. So if you're experiencing ED, hair loss, anxiety, or problems with your general health, you don't have to go to the doctor or the pharmacy or spend all day talking about it. Just go to hims.com/start and do something about it. Get started today at hims.com/start. That's HIMS.com/START.
Steve Sipple,
Hut, hut, hey!
The conversation gets even more uncomfortable, okay?
Omaha!
Steve Sipple on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The sweet sounds of Seether. Bring us in, Stephen M. Sipple of HuskerOnline.com. Sipple, hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm going to say good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'm good. I'm pretty good.
Good. Got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I think so. How's the week been?
been all right. I mean, the day right now, you're a golfer, aren't you?
I am a golfer. I haven't golfed yet this year, though.
Should be a good day. I just noticed the wind's not blowing very hard.
Yeah. Well, I'll be broadcasting a baseball game tonight, so that's like just as good for me.
Oh yes, that is good.
Yeah,
that is good.
Okay. Well, Sipple, what do you know? What have you come to realize this week? What are some truths that we now know?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
I don't know. I want to know how you unpack this entire thing.
This entire thing with Trev Alberts?
Yes.
I mean, as I size it up, I mean, I think Nebraska is probably better off without him.
Wow. Why is that?
I mean, I think he wasn't loyal, clearly. 2.5 years would suggest that he wasn't loyal. And, I think it's good to be ambitious. And that's all that, but you can be ambitious and still have integrity. So, I mean, that's how it kind of hit me yesterday. And then reading the reasons for leaving, there was no smoking gun or anything.
No, there was not.
He just left for personal, because he thinks it's personally beneficial to him, and turned his back on a lot of people that had thought that he was loyal. And it happens a lot in the world. So it's not like, I mean, it sounds like I'm being really judgmental. I don't think I am. It's very common. And I thought maybe Trev was a little different, and he wasn't. So now you move on to the next guy and hope he wants to be here.
I don't know if that means though that they are better off without him. Like, are you?
Oh, I do.
Are you one of those people who are sort of like retracking and rethinking about his entire time here now, just because of kind of how this finished off? Which I agree with you on that part. Like, it's a really, really tough pill to swallow, and it definitely changes how we look at him to a certain extent. But like, I still think he was a pretty good athletic director.
I guess. I mean, a very limited scope. He made a good hire, I think, although that's to be determined on that rule. His vision for, when you're talking about something like volleyball day for Nebraska, I think you give him a lot of credit for something like that. And, Trev's he's a good AD. Listen, this is no commentary on Trev's ability to lead a department. It's no commentary on Trev's grasp of the national scene and ability to work, his ability to navigate a very difficult environment. He's an extremely charismatic guy. He's an incredibly good salesman. He sells his vision incredibly well. He'll be very successful. He'll all those things. But, I think he has probably a pretty grand vision for himself. And that didn't include Nebraska, and that's fine. It's not. I mean, it's not really fine. And then he was only here for 2.5 years, and kind of led us to believe there was a loyalty, and that he talked about how he always talks about how Tom Osborne's like a father, and what all this place meant to him. And it's kind of hard to believe that now. It's just, again, it is what it is. This happens. It's a very common occurrence in the world. But does it make me think of Trev differently? A lot differently.
Yeah. If you go from the side, because I mean, we can go down that line of like, he and I certainly didn't realize like his ambition to serve, like to better himself as much, right? Like I thought, like you, Sipple, like I thought he could accomplish the things he wanted to accomplish here, but it was more about Nebraska instead of more of about what can I do to get to that next step. But like, what do you think? What do you think he saw that he wasn't able to to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish, whether it's for himself or for other things here that he maybe could at Texas A&M. Like, that's been a tough one to pull apart.
Well, I don't want to speculate. I mean, if you go to Sam McEwen's story, he talked about how impressed he is with President Mark Welch, to A&M's president Mark Welch, and what an impression that Mark Welch made on him. And he, Trev is consistent in saying that leadership matters to him, and A&M has a strong president in place. Nebraska doesn't. Do I think that's a factor? Yeah, I think it's a factor. But Trev himself said, everybody's looking for, they're looking for all these reasons, and there's this. He essentially said what I just said. There's no smoking gun. But I do think that's a factor that A&M has a strong president in place. Nebraska doesn't have a president in place. I think that probably affected Trev. I mean, of course it affected him. He was trying to push through this, we'll call it a $600 million stadium project.
Yeah.
If he feels like he didn't have support, that's an issue. I think that, it's things like that. So, but again, here's the thing. All that can be worked through, those things they're not even that unique. In fact, they're not unique at all. And if he felt the weight of that project, and I think he probably did. A lot of ADs would just simply say, "We got to walk this back." I was a little ambitious, and I just don't know if Trev's capable of doing that. I don't think it would have been a devastating thing to him or the fan base if that would have had to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with that thing, but it's hard to imagine it going forward as planned.
Yeah.
But it's a whole nother conversation.
I guess we can kind of bridge the gap there then. Like, do you think that project was introduced too hastily?
Yeah, it seems like it. Again, Trev's ambitious. He has big visions. That was a very aggressive vision, and he's that way. And I think he's that way for himself. I think he has very aggressive visions. And I think it was. I think it was hastily done, and I don't think it's going to happen. Listen, we're just having a sports talk here. I'm also not talking to you like I don't talk to a lot of people who are involved in fundraising and know what's going on. The picture that's painted for me is one that would suggest right now that it would be a bit of a long shot for them to be able to raise $225 million in this climate right now, especially with the AD gone.
Yeah, it certainly. I'm with you. It certainly doesn't feel that way, and you're more in the know than I am. But it definitely doesn't even feel that way on the surface anymore. I kind of put it this way earlier. Like, I think one thing that we came to realize, or we have come to realize, maybe I'll ask you this. How good of a sense did you have on how Trev viewed himself before this week? Now, I think we've come to realize some things now. Well, I don't know that obviously we didn't see the move coming, but also the personal kind of ambition to serve on bigger, whether it's committees or bigger positions, whether in the sport of college football. I don't think I had a great grasp on that before really 48 hours ago.
Well, you might have had a grasp and just not even known it. I think we, as a media group here, kind of beat back that story that he, it was, now people are talking about it more openly, that he had designs on being chairman of the College Football Playoff Committee, that he even had designs on being the Big Ten commissioner. Now, it seems like it was never made too big of a deal here, including by me. I just buried the College Football Playoff thing in a tunnel talk that we do, a subscriber only thing. we never talked about it. I don't think, and I think it's because we didn't really want to believe that he was seriously looking at leaving. You know, but
it would have been easier to swallow if he took that job.
I guess, yeah. Even after only 2 years, I guess it's still, yeah. I guess it would have been. I'll grant you that. It still would have been hard. You know, I think we all had this kind of picture. I never had a picture of him retiring here because I know him well enough, and I used to know him much better. I mean, over the years, especially when he went to UNO, there's really no reason for me to bother him. But you know, he's very ambitious. He's aggressive. He wanted to. It was either. I think it was always portrayed to me that he was going. It was either Herb Street or Trev that was going to be the face of college football for that big network. And
ESPN.
That was devastating to him that he did get it. So I knew, however long ago that was, 20 years ago or whatever it was, that he was of that. He's that way. So I should have known probably. And I did. I mean, like I said, humans are complex. I did know it, but I just thought his loyalty would keep him here for just a longer amount of time than 2.5 years. I thought he'd give it hell for 5, probably, or 7. But it didn't really. I don't think that fits into his personal agenda. As I'm starting to understand it a little bit better, and then some of now I can get into conjecture, but it's really makes so much sense. I've heard it from people that purportedly know, and it makes sense. I mean, he was a Big Ten AD. Now he's going to be an SEC AD. SEC and the Big Ten are powerful entities that might break off, maybe add a few teams, and they're going to need a czar, a commissioner. And who would be better suited? Not many people than Trev Alberts. And then how would Texas A&M feel about having the czar in their pocket? You know, and how would Texas feel about? Oh God, that guy just worked at Texas A&M. That's wonderful. It could be these guys in powerful positions, the president of Texas A&M, the new AD of Texas A&M, they all are in powerful positions because they think further down the line than most people do. And this could be Trev, and he knows probably there's no guarantees. Of course there's not, but he also knows he's positioned well. His resume is incredible. He has the look. I mean, I could see him being a Roger Goodell of college football. Hell, I could see him being the commissioner of the NFL. He's only 53 years old. So, I mean, that's a lot of conjecture, but man, it makes sense.
You mentioned that part where, and he has this vision, and he's certainly sure about it. He has this kind of ability to see trends and see things before they end up coming true. He's a forward thinker. He's a dreamer. Where did he? Obviously, the plan at Nebraska not fulfilled, like job not done. Where did he leave it at Nebraska? How far down the road were we, or are we?
Oh, I mean, the stadium project, it's all so much, the conversation is so much dominated by that. And there's going to have to be something done with the stadium. So I guess it'd start with that. Now you could walk that.
I think it's, we could talk about like, he had always talked about putting money aside for when the universities have to start paying players, positioning on NIL and,
here's the thing. No, here's the thing. When I say it hurts, when I talk about Trev, my feelings about him, he was the one to lead Nebraska. Okay, that's why some of it's really hurtful. He had great ideas. He was going to have Nebraska ready for whatever. Okay, and what you're talking about is real. I mean, if it does become an institutional part of the institution to pay players, Nebraska would have been ready. He had ideas for additional money. He was always thinking about new revenue, new ways to gain revenue, always thinking about it. And he had good ideas. So, he's he's formidable. He's really formidable. That's why I think that. I mean, and that's the thing. It's a kind of a tricky conversation because I do kind of applaud him for his aggressive pursuit of what he wants. I don't think. Here's what I don't think it was just. Oh, I want to go to Texas A&M. I don't think it's just that. I don't think it's just I want to go to Texas A&M. That I'm somehow wildly attracted to Texas A&M over Nebraska.
Right.
I think he has a grander. I think he has a bigger picture ambition in mind, and it's backed by that knowledge that he was interested in those two big picture jobs.
Yeah. No, I totally buy that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a crazy notion at all.
Basically what I'm getting to is, did he leave Nebraska in a better spot?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say that in the context of what I just said.
Right. I know. It's really tricky.
They're better off without him. I guess in the sense that I think he hired a good football coach, and ADs are largely defined by that hire. And I wouldn't go too far. I wouldn't go too much farther beyond that. I don't know why you would. I mean, the volleyball day in Nebraska thing was a great idea, but I almost give the fans as much credit as anybody. I just think it's unfortunate that he I think he just saw Nebraska as a stepping stone for him, and I guess I thought that was a possibility, but I kind of beat it back in my mind.
Yep. All right, Sipple, lot to work through. Appreciate you coming on with us for a few minutes. Enjoy your weekend. Any rides in the future this weekend?
Well, yeah, no, not right now. I got to start thinking about working a little bit today. No ride.
It's 1:30, Sipple.
Yeah, I got to get rolling. Sometimes it works that way. I got the 5-hour energy sitting here, so I'm ready to go here.
All right, see you later.
All right, see you.
Steve Sipple of HuskerOnline.com. I think you saw that's the full gamut right there. That's the whole tray.
Hey, you remember like 20 minutes ago when you asked me if we should call Sipple?
Yeah, that was a good idea.
Man, I'm glad we called that guy.
Josh, great producer, Josh. Well done. To answer my own question, I think he left Nebraska in a better place. I do. But it's a tough pill to swallow because of the way it all went down.
You probably underestimated his career ambitions.
No doubt. I honestly, to be fair to myself, and I only speak for myself, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that stuff. I didn't.
What's the media not telling us, Connor?
I did think he was a lifer. I thought that. I thought that's part of the reason why they hired him. Kind of. We need stability, right? I kind of thought he was.
Definitely.
And I never really second guessed that until Wednesday morning at 9:00. All right. We will come back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
Screw that. You've got Shaka Smart. You've got a guy who gets out on the floor and plays defense on his own end, too. I mean, come on. No, that is a bunch of crap. That is absolutely a bunch of crap. That, first of all, when I think of that building at its best, it is never, ever crossed the mind of like, man, these students or this crowd is brutal. That's what makes it so tough. No, they just get loud. They get into it. 95% of it's positive. The other 5% is nothing different than what you're going to see at any other venue.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10. On 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Plenty of sunshine and mild temperatures for your Friday with a high today in Omaha of 57 degrees with northerly winds up to 15 miles an hour. Staying clear and cool tonight with a low of 38. Winds a bit breezy early, west-northwesterly, also up to 15 miles an hour. Mostly sunny, breezy, and mild as we start the weekend with a high of 59 on Saturday, gusts up to 30 miles an hour with very high fire danger. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Ball forward, take your base. The only thing worse than a pitcher running out of gas on the mound is your old phone running out of storage for your photos in the stands. Goodbye, home run! Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark pics you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with unlimited Ultimate and get iPad and Apple Watch SE with eligible service plan. Only on Verizon.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
to go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
Spring is in sight. Looking to wake up your yard this season? Make your neighbors green with envy with Lanahaw's wide selection of landscape supplies and homegrown plant material. Get a head start today. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
If you're unhappy with your job or employer and you've hit a dead end, it's time to start your new career as a delivery driver with Host Coffee. Our local family-owned business is growing, and we now have openings for delivery drivers and other positions starting at $22 an hour with full benefits. If you're interested, visit hostcoffee.net/careers to connect with us.
Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Lula Bee's Breakfast, Brunch, and Bar is downtown Omaha's go-to spot for great food with a Mexican flair. Lula Bee's has everything from French toast and omelets to shrimp tacos and burgers. There's even a full bar with uniquely inspired spring fling cocktails. Want to have a party? Lula Bee's has a party room that seats up to 65 of your favorite people with custom catering available. Book for graduation parties, family events, bridal celebrations, or just brunch with all your friends. Lula Bee's, 9th and Dodge, or at lulabeesomaha.com.
Lindley Clothing in Omaha has been the premier provider of men's fashion for over 88 years, from suits to jeans, with great brands like Jack Victor, Bugatti, Peter Millar. Your father was a customer. You're a customer. Your son is a customer, and now they're looking for the latest sportswear to tailored clothing. Lindley Clothing has you covered. They will help you get the look that you need with their selection and top-notch customer service. You walk in the door, and there's John and Marlene and the entire Lindley Clothing team with a great smile on their face, and there to help you. 132nd and West Dodge in Linden Market to pick up the latest styles and enjoy easy access shopping.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, just a couple minutes here before we get out of here. Responses from some of the very compelling things that Sipple had to say. Here's from Pedro on the text line.
Hi, Pedro.
Hi, guys. Connor and Josh. That was great insight from Sipple. Great interview. Now, everyone stop the Trev hate. Listen to this line and tell me you didn't think about this when Sipple was talking about it. Pedro says, if he becomes the college commissioner or the NFL commissioner, he'll have good thoughts of his time at Nebraska. Not this, I hate the traitor crap. Thanks, Pedro. So, like, if he ultimately, if that is indeed his vision, and he becomes some sort of czar, college football playoff commissioner, conference commissioner, you don't think remembering his time at Nebraska fondly and having good thoughts toward Nebraska is important? It could mean something somewhere down the line. It's hard for me to be specific about it, but it could mean something somewhere down the line.
I do think if in 10 years he's in a much more powerful position, that hearts and minds begin to change. Like, oh, I can see the chessboard you were playing with when you left here.
Yeah.
That you couldn't tell me about when you left. It kind of makes sense now. I'm still bummed you left, and the way you left will always hurt, just like we will always have UNO wrestling guy call the show and say, I told you so.
Yeah. Mark on the Equitable Bank inbox says this, and related to that, everything Trev did's fine. If he has bigger aspirations, that's fine too, but it comes at a price. He's never going to be welcome back to his alma mater. So if he's okay with people around here hating him for a long, long time, so be it.
We always say that. We always say that so-and-so will never come back. And 25 years later, we all go, hey, why were we mad at that guy? Let's bring him back for the spring game and celebrate him.
Well, okay. All right. Hold on. We're going to need to check some receipts on this then. Who have we forgiven? Who have we forgiven?
We didn't forgive Frank Solich, but we said we're
There's
sorry.
nothing wrong with Frank.
We said we're sorry.
No, Frank is not included in the
but
have we forgiven Steve Peterson?
No.
Have we forgiven Sean Eichhorst?
No, those guys are different. Those aren't quote unquote Nebraska guys.
Okay. I mean, Steve Peterson was.
Well, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's an example. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Hot Danger says Doc Sadler.
What do we have Doc to forgive? Why?
All those
we were never mad
on
at
the
Doc.
basketball court.
We were never mad at Doc. Like, losing as a coach does not count as a person who we need to at some point forgive. Right? Like, Mike Riley doesn't fit into this category.
No.
He didn't spurn Nebraska. He just wasn't good enough. And that's okay.
In 25 years, will we extend an olive branch to Scott Frost and say, hey, man, it's okay. Come on back.
That's easier, I think. That one's slightly easier. I don't know about Trev versus Scott, but like maybe the takeaway from Scott's time was just he wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough.
Seems to be. Yeah.
As it softens over time, the take from Scott was, yeah, Scott, man, we appreciate you trying. Like, maybe you forget about the whole whatever was going on else.
We're not Florida. We don't have the talent pool that Florida has, apparently.
But he just maybe wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not the start and end of it, but there is that piece. By the way, one more thing before we take a break here. This is from Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Potential Michigan hires. As a Michigan fan, here's my wish list. Shaka Smart, Nate Oates, TJ Otzelberger, Dusty May. And he says after watching Providence last night, I love the Lamont Paris energy. So, yeah, Kim English is the coach for Providence, but many people, including Black Twitter, love the Kim English energy from last night. That's true. Chris also says one name being thrown out on the message boards right now is Fred Hoiberg.
Why?
Well, he doesn't have an AD at the moment,
or a president,
and he's about to make the NCAA. He's about to make the NCAA tournament. Let me just go one by one on those guys. Shaka, I think Shaka's good. I think Shaka found the right spot. I think he's good. Dusty May is a name I've heard for that job. Otzelberger, once again, I think you could reach heights, still hang on to your Midwest roots, that type of deal. I think he'll be good at Iowa State. Oates, you could get him probably. You could get him. I think Michigan could get a guy like Oates. But I think generally Michigan probably thinks a little bit higher of itself than it probably needs to be thought of.
Michigan basketball specifically.
Yes, Michigan basketball in particular. All right, quick timeout. Come back with the poll questions. Tell you what to watch on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
Looking for a sweet treat that will transport you back into time? Look no further than Ted and Wally's. With 2 convenient locations in Benson and the Old Market, it's the perfect place to satisfy your cravings. Whether you're downtown or in Benson, make sure to stop in. And if you're catching a basketball game, why not indulge in a delicious dessert afterwards? With over 3,000 flavors to choose from, there's something for everyone. Don't forget to check out our social media for daily flavors. Ted and Wally's, serving up nostalgia at its finest for over 35 years. Visit tedandwallys.com for more information.
When you keep a car for a long time, it becomes a classic. When you keep your air conditioner for a long time, it becomes, well, let's just say it doesn't get better with age. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and have your old air conditioner checked out. If it's needed, you can have a brand new Carrier air conditioner installed in no time with fast and easy financing. When the other companies send salesmen, Standard sends qualified technicians. It's just part of
The way we do the things we do.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included when you buy an extended Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. Online only. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
To go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank. All right, Wisconsin and Northwestern is game 2 of the day in the Big Ten. That is coming up in 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
Wow. What a time to be alive.
Chucky Hepburn is not in the starting lineup today for the Badgers.
Wow.
He is ready to play if needed, but he is not in the starting lineup.
What do you make of that?
I won't say what everybody else is saying. You guys can just think it. That's fine.
Oh.
Full questions, Josh. At Happer Show. Remember Floby? I actually don't. This was too early for me. I know what it is.
Oh, okay.
But I actually don't. I do not remember this at all. So I'm going to vote no.
I do. I remember it.
54% agree with you, Josh.
Friend of the show, Michael Severe, said that they had one. He's seen it in action.
What year was the Floby? Let's find out.
Great question.
1986.
Really?
Yep. Too early for me.
It's like a hair vacuum.
Yep.
Sort of thing.
Yeah. And it just it like curled it or something? Or what did it do?
I think it cut it.
It cut it?
Yeah.
Sounds kind of cool.
It cut it and sucked it up so it didn't get all over your floor.
We don't have as much hair. Some people don't have as much hair anymore. All right, what are we watching tonight, Josh?
I got a big weekend of basketball, NBA's got a ton of games on. Doubleheader on NBA TV tonight. Suns and Hornets, Hawks and Jazz tonight. I know you'll be tuned into that Hawks-Jazz game, Connor. ABC has Timberwolves Jazz Saturday night. Interesting choice. Suns Bucks noon Sunday ABC. Nuggets Mavericks right after that on ABC. Sunday night doubleheader on NBA TV as well. NHL New York Rangers in Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins. 2:00 tomorrow on ABC.
No bobbleheads.
That's right. The Battle of New York is resurrected Sunday at noon on TNT. The Islanders take on the Rangers. And 2:30 Sunday on TNT, the New Jersey Devils.
Watch out for them Devils now.
Are in Vegas to take on the Golden Knights.
Vegas.
That's right. College basketball, Wisconsin Northwestern now, followed by Buckeyes Illini, and then at 8:00 it is the Hoosiers and the Scars. Nebraska, do they win and cover the 3.5?
Can I not pick the cover or not?
Sure.
That bit me last night.
Sure.
I'm just going to say that Nebraska does win tonight.
Okay.
Although I think the first 10 minutes will be ugly. I think they're going
to do that thing again.
I think they'll be down by as much as 10
in
the first 10 minutes and then win close late.
I like that. Big Fox has the Big East tournament this afternoon, 4:30 tip for St. John's and UConn, which Rick Pitino last night called, quote, an easy one.
Awesome.
Quote,
I love Rick Pitino.
I don't like Rick Pitino, but I like that.
No, I love
That's
Rick
fun.
Pitino.
Let's do that. And then it moves to FS1 for the nightcap because The Rock is on SmackDown tonight. And Providence Marquette on FS1.
That is a game.
That is a game.
With known Black Twitter hottie, Kim English.
That's right. Big 12 tournament, Texas Tech Baylor, 6:00 on ESPN2. It moves over to ESPN for the evening session, 8:30 tip between Baylor and Iowa State. And then Selection Sunday, the men's version, 5:00 on CBS. The women's bracket revealed on ESPN at 7:00 on Sunday. Few movies to stream.
I cannot wait to have a plan for next week. I'm so excited.
Brackets,
I'm
sleepers,
I am
Cinderellas.
so excited.
It's gonna be. It's great. It's always great, but it feels particularly.
Where in the
great
world
this
will
year.
Connor Happer be?
Yeah, you get a travel plan. Like, ooh,
I might travel. I might not.
Yeah,
it's exciting. I might be in Omaha at downtown.
You might. Yeah, trio of movies to stream this weekend on Max. Dream Scenario, starring Nicolas Cage as a hapless family man who begins appearing in millions of people's dreams. That sounds weird, man. Irish Wish on Netflix, when the love of her life gets engaged to her best friend, Maddie, played by Lindsay Lohan, puts her feelings aside until a spontaneous wish causes her to wake up as the bride-to-be. It's a body switcheroo thing.
Interesting.
And then on Peacock, Trolls Band Together.
Okay. Nope.
No, Justin Timberlake and the boys getting back together in sync.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
I have two things, one news item and one take before we let you go.
Okay.
Kenny Pickett is being traded to the Eagles.
Oh.
Kenny Pickett is being traded to the Eagles.
Josh Peters. The Eagles.
Kenny Pickett is being traded to the Eagles. Okay, that's the news item.
For what?
Here's nothing. Here's the take. Here's the take. There are very few things that the Big Ten tournament does better than the Big East tournament. But here's one of them. They put the public address announcer, Gene Honda, legendary guy, legendary Chicago guy, on the television broadcast, and they announce the starting lineups as they go. Watching those Big East games yesterday, I was sick. I was disgusted. And I love Bill Raftery, and I love the pregame Donnie Marshall and the old coach from Butler, whatever. They're all on the floor, and they're talking like as
Jim
the
Calhoun
lineups are
on
going.
some
Like,
stuff yesterday.
Great, whatever. I love those guys. But introduce the starting lineups on television. That is epic. So, Big East, get your bleep together, figure it out.
You're in Madison Square Garden.
You have an
Act like
incredible
it.
tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible tournament.
The best?
Nobody cares about the Fox pregame guys giving their breakdowns on if they think Providence is going to make the tournament or not 10 seconds before the game starts. Get them off the floor.
I love this take.
That's the show. Crossovers next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's cold outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink Nebraska brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
The college basketball championship is fast approaching, and 1620 The Zone has your chance to win a local 1620 The Watch Party at Backlot Tap House in Exarban for you and your crew. Come on! Plus, we're taking 1620 The Watch Party to Las Vegas. One grand prize winner will score a flyaway to Las Vegas to stay at the Circa Resort and Casino. Join in on the madness. Don't miss your shot to enter to win now at 1620thezone.com. Powered by Circa Resort and Casino and Backlot Tap House.
You can find pizza anywhere. But when you want pizza pie piled high with more toppings,